in singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
Ladies and gentlemen, from at home, from the comfort of my desk chair on my usual setup with my Riftbound stuff in the back, I'm Mr. Dirks, joined by Trouble Inc., who also has got some freaky laboo-boos every time I see. I don't know what's going on with that glass case, but that is disturbing as we're here to cover the upper bracket final qualification, I should say, of G2 versus KC, while Navi and MCoy go on in the background.
Yeah, basically, just to summarize everything, there will not be an actual final with teams going up against each other, but today is the first promotion to EWC. G2 versus KC, full best of 5 banger, winner qualifies.
Yeah, simple as that. Best of 5 that recently, I mean, we've had a best of 3 version. We've had G2 kind of wiping the floor with KC at the last roadshow of the regular season of the LEC. And then, meanwhile, as I said, going on the bottom side of the bracket is MCoy versus Navi. That'll be happening off stream, but we'll be updating you, I believe, on the results going forward, which obviously I think will be done Trouble before KCG2. I don't know. It depends how.
Listen, I don't even know. Navi versus Galleons. Navi made it through by the skin of their teeth, okay? We could actually have an ERL team waiting in the lower bracket playing up against MCoy. So I feel like MCoy versus Navi have a lot to prove.
Yeah, they really do. I feel like Navi's a team that we were hyped on coming out of Versus. And then coming into spring, like I lost that feel to them. Me personally, like it was all about real edge or nothing. It still feels like it kind of is. A team that really needed to play around dragons to have any kind of dynamic in the game. And that changed a lot. But kind of bringing it back to KC and G2, because this is a very recent rivalry. I just feel like G2 are back. I don't know what's wrong with this team, Trouble. Maybe you can help me understand. But regular seasons of LEC, they come back from first stand after getting top 2, after beating Gen G and being K-Fear X. And then they look like shit in the spring season. And then we suddenly get towards the end. It's like, oh, playoff time's coming up. And then now suddenly G2 are
just turn on.
Really good again.
Yeah.
They're just on.
I feel like it's been kind of studied as well that a lot of teams that pretty much qualify for most internationals kind of get tired at some point, you know, they just let go of the gas just a little bit. And I feel like G2 is one of those teams that really likes experimenting and figuring out what is the best core scenario for their team. And I feel like the last best of 3 we watched versus KC, where they 2-0'd them very convincingly, was just that. The drafts look different. We had a Kled in draft 1, we had an Olaf in draft 2, and I felt like they just brushed over KC in that particular one. And with Rumble B1 right here, BB has a lot of answers. Like anything that is ranged can be played top lane into the Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like BB can also just take the tank matchup, as playing role player at the moment is pretty good. But I love, by the way, these bans. A Smolder is taken off the board when G2 kind of just walked over Navi with a Smolder center bottom lane for Hans Summer and Lebrov. So keep in mind that they are experimenting a bit, and we are on 26.9 as Anivia comes in blind. That could also, I'm just going to drop. It could be a flex, by the way. It could be.
I love that. That is a 3-way flex. You can play it mid, you can play it top, you can play it as support as well if you want to. And I love the pairing with a more fast-paced jungler right here for Skewmont. You also have things like Shinzao and Pantheon still up and available. And I feel like Pantheon does threaten a lot of times things like Rumble on the top side of the map, but they want something that is a little bit more flexible in the early game to potentially go for those early game level 2, level 3 ganks.
It makes sense, especially, I mean, I feel like Skewmon taking away the Jarvan here, just a quick side note, gets rid of the pairing for KC. But for Yike, no Vi. Oh, no, actually, Vi is available. Used to it being banned away. There's a lot available here, still 26.9.
Yeah.
As, you know, Trouble, I'm kind of worried about this. If it was going to be 1-2 here for G2, but considering it's not, Lucian Milio, maybe just one part of it, might be taken here by G2, because usually that's a pairing going into Lucian Nami.
Yeah, and I just really like what KC doing right here that you mentioned. There's just a bunch of junglers that are left open. We've got the Vi, we've got the Shinzao, we've got the Pantheon. We've also got things like Skarner. If you actually want that CC to go through, Skarner doesn't care about the Jarvan. He sets up really nice CC for the Rumble carpet to fall upon as well. And I feel like with the Ezreal lock-in right here, Vi is a very primary ban that you want to be throwing towards Yike. Not only his Vi is really good for anyone who's doubting it, okay? Because I'm #1 Vi doubter, but majority of his losses were B1 Vi's. Now this is not a B1, and Vi's really good into Ezreal.
His Vi once upon a time was a meme, but this year, and I think the end of last year, like, Yike's Vi has gotten a lot better. He's really improved on the champs, though. Big shout out as he gets a respect ban. Karma also gone for the pairing for G2's bottom lane. Now the only question is, like, is it going to be a Bard ban to finish off here for KC? And do they try and pinch Yike more? As I feel like Yike's pool is extensive to run into this J4.
I feel like because G2 have the counter pick on red side, you can pick something a little bit more safe for caps if you want to, and then counter pick top lane for BB. You also have the triple flex with Anivia, which, yes, one is very good pairing with the Ezreal for bot lane, but you can put it mid or top if you want to. So second jungler, which again pairs up really nicely with the Rumble and sets up for him in terms of CC, is going to be the Skarner. Now you've got things like the Pantheon, which I personally really like, especially if that Anivia might end up on the side lane.
Super easy as well to punish. I mean, I like the Pantheon call out here. Let's wait and see. It's going to be 4th pick here for G2, so standard pick ban sides. If you're wondering at home, we didn't get right of first selection. I believe there is right of first selection here in this qualifying tournament, but
I feel like it's how you see them from what I've seen the entire tournament. So team on the left will always be first pick, team on the right will always be second pick from what I've seen so far. Right. Yeah.
Okay, well, Ornn gets banned away, and moving into what BB is going to play in the top side. I mean, Casante's still there as an option. As you said, flexibility probably wants to be remaining an option here for G2 with the Anivia. So maybe it is going to be support here and then leave up to the last pick. Lebrov, I don't think he's going to pick that right. I mean, Bard is not available. I called it out before, but this would be hype running into an Enchanter bot. Instead, he's going to go for more lane presence.
This solidifies to me that this Anivia is going top lane into the Rumble. A really great pick. Sets up nicely for the Jarvan as well. And especially when you have such a volatile top laner that's not necessarily too mobile on the tops of the map, like Rumble, you want to consistently hit that. We saw it yesterday with Galleons versus Na'Vi. That Jace had 3 deaths in the first 6 minutes and never go back on his feet. So I'm assuming that G2 are looking to do the same here with Kana's Rumble.
Well, Khan's going to have the chance to show us if it's going to be taken top. I mean, I did see a mid-rumble today, so I'm just kind of on edge as to whether that's going to be changing up as well.
Let me guess.
Aurora technically a flex. Yeah. Good guess. I mean, it's probably going to be an Aurora mid at this point and thinking that Anivia is going to be mid, but as you said, now we get to find out. Pantheon does get locked in, which you pulled out before Trouble. So we get a bit more global potential as well as all-in from Yike. As G2 now, where is it going? Come on. Is it going to be a Caps Anivia again? Or are we getting a TF top or a Caps mid? I mean, that to me, that could just be TF top. But
I feel like this is mid. It has to be mid. Anivia is just so good into Rumble hysterics. It has to be mid, right? This is everything for G2 right here. First of all, they can follow Yike around with the global from Caps. That means Yahoo can never leave lane second because he can never face check. Caps will always be first on the play. You also have the agency up the top lane when you have the egg and the flash onto Anivia to win you some time until TF is there. So you've got semi-globals with the Ezreal, globals with the Ezreal and the TF, and you've got a lot of survivability top lane with Broken Blade. I think this is an all-in from G2 to hit Kana on the Rumble.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see if we can keep him down. I mean, I'm reflecting off the fact that over in Madrid, G2 brought back Broken Blade, or I should say he brought himself back. Bit of a role player, I think, in Madrid, but still Broken Blade felt like he was a bit more representative of his previous form from the previous split and at least at Versus. Now on the Anivia top, playing a carry up against Karmine, you talked about the global pressure that G2 want to bring. As a quick reminder to everyone out there, you're looking at the first game drafts, we are in the qualifying best of 5. The winner of this will lock in EWC. Now, quick reminder as well, the champion of LEC will also lock in EWC. You also reminded me, Trouble, that in that case, it will come down to the qualification points as to who did the best. It would just be funny if G2 was able to win this series and then win LEC as well as a lot of people expect.
That'd be chaos.
Yeah, it would be chaos. Yep.
Yeah, also a lot of people have pointed out how Vitality went out in this tournament, which was really sad. A 13k gold lead versus MKOI wasn't enough for them to close out the series. And then they go out to Shifters, okay? Who then went out to an ERL team. So a lot of question marks behind the #1 team currently in the standings as Vitality. And to make it into the EWC, they would have to solidify themselves as the winner of LEC for Spring Split. So right now, we're getting a bit of a taste, if you will, hysterics, of what we're going to watch next week. A best of 5 of players from the LEC. Here's your prequel.
I mean, again, a lot of people also thinking that this could be the finals as we look towards bottom lane to start things off in this game 1. As you expect, Labrov going to have a bit of lane presence. One thing a lot of people don't talk about anymore is because we have a plethora of supports, is how much Nico controls the 2v2 space with so much upfront damage, and as well as the levels come in, a lot of CC lockdown. So with Han Summer, 2v2 is going to feel pretty nice here to start as Cap's already getting burst out by Yehu, who hits level 2 first.
And Hans Sama playing the Ezreal in the last time these two teams met as well. Didn't speak a snip of English. I feel like he was extremely fluent in Chinese, if I'm not wrong. And he's pulling out again right here. The reason why I really like Ezreal is because his secondary summoner spell is also very flexible. We've seen the teleport, we've seen the barrier, but we also see the exhaust. I really love the exhaust right here. There is a bunch of threat in terms of damage from the side of KC. Wherever you see, even the Nami at some point, you know, is going to start dishing out damage, but having the exhaust for things like Aurora and Rumble and maybe Pantheon diving you into the backline is going to be very instrumental for the survival of the champion, who is already very slippery.
I think also your note comes into question when Kalista's taking TP into this lane. So no combat summoner for Kalist, and only the heal from Busio to influence the 2v2. I feel like Labrov and Hansama get a bit of attention. We talked about the globals coming from Caps and maybe Skumon's attention towards bot. There is also angles to set up dives towards that 2v2 bottom lane. Skumon is pathing towards bot, but for now, it is a standard clear. While we talk about Yike on the other side on his Pantheon, he's heading up top, but he won't be able to find an entry as early levels Broken Blade has a ward on that Pixel Brush.
Yeah, and very uncharacteristically, I feel like it was the KC versus MKOI series. Yike missed a lot of 50-50 smites in that particular series, which as a smite king, you expect him to be like in an 80-20, right? It's like, it's never fair. If Yike's in the pit, it's never a fair fight, a 50-50. So both the junglers are going to grab their respective scout crabs. Now, the reasoning behind the TP onto the Corki, we see it a lot onto the Varus as well, is that if you're in disadvantageous in terms of push bot lane.
That's a mistake from Labrov. Good Aqua Prison. Tangle Barb's dodged away. Booster is going to follow this up as well. Labrov goes into the clone. They're trying to turn it on with lethal tempo up and available for Hansama. Kalist taking it on. Boss bomb. There's the exhaust. You talked about it. The combat summon is great as Mystic Shot hits Busio, but yeah, Labrov messed up, and I think he's saved by Hansama getting some damage down.
But that's a lot of your pressure gone if you're G2. You've missed your exhaust, and now you don't have the heal as well. Double flash still up and available for G2, but this bot lane needs to be pressuring 24/7. You're stronger when it comes to a lot of the ability to fight down the bot lane, to skirmish in the 2v2. You land spells onto that from that Ezreal, then you suddenly have that lethal potential maybe for a dive. But now I don't think they can pressure too aggressively, not having those two crucial summoner spells.
Yeah, we'll have to see if there's some way to kind of, again, get that Jarvan down to the bottom lane. On a ward for now, Skumon.
They have the Jarvan, it's just not the real one.
Yes, definitely
it's
not the real
cosplay.
So Skumon, he's going to back now. Nice and early. Same buys for both junglers, but Yike, he's already based away so that he get Krugs now into Raptors. I'm looking at levels as well. Level 5 for Skumon, almost there for Yike. Scuttle taken, 1 in respective. So we'll just wait for the third one here, which will probably net towards level 6 and towards that 20 smite value. So now all things are chill outside of that bot lane 2v2, which is still getting pushed, by the way. I mean, there's a bit of a CS lead for Hansam and Brewing, so it's kind of nice here that G2's bot lane getting a slow push in and using their range and their burst values.
Yeah, I feel like they're feeling pretty safe because they know that the top side for Yike is respawning, so the Panther will not be anywhere near. Of course, at level 6 is a big threat, but it comes in a package with the second Skull Crab. The second Skull Crab has not spawned yet, so they know that Yike on the other side of the map does not have the semi-global to join them down bot lane. Therefore, they can still pressure the advantage that they have in terms of a 2v2. Java's going to be towards that bot side of the map, starting the Dragon. They do have the push from bot lane, as we just mentioned, and they have the level 6 from Caps. So it'll be very, very easy to spot where KC are and if they want to contest whatsoever. But the egg.
Yeah, the egg came out. Broken Blade. We just toggled a top. I think Kana used equal. No, he did. How did he get egg out without equalizer? I guess he's just winning lane with Comet. And Broken Blade must have taken a trade too many. This is where we get the ultimate replay. But I'm not sure we're going to get
Now it's very scary. Yikes up top lane, about to hit level 6 from the Scuttle Crab. He won't get the opportunity right here, but we have seen some crazy things happen where you're just wasting just a little bit of your time. You know that BB is going to come back most likely with a teleport right here underneath the tower with no egg, so you could potentially make a play. Now Caps has to back, Yahoo is back, and the Raptors have been under contention right here for Yike.
Yeah, see what Yike can do. Remember again, level 6 for both. It would be, but Skewmon needs 6 from the Raptors.
Doesn't have it.
No, he doesn't. That means he can't set up the Cataclysm. Caps is backing away. Skewmon did... he must have gotten the smite down. I can only tell you what's going on the minimap. Yeah.
Another smite loss for Yike. This is so uncharacteristic. It's just a bad streak of events for him. Oh,
hang on. No, there is flying in. The salute from Yike. He just says, goodbye, my fried friend. The flame splitter down. The wall interrupts. I didn't know that could happen. Yike has to burn the flash. Caps is coming in with a Destiny as well. A flash down. They have to secure the kill down. First blood's down for Cataclysm. A 1-for-1 as Skewmon is now just in the dome with Yike, but Caps is adding extra damage. Gold card about to come out. Doesn't save the life of his jungler. It's going to be a 2-for-2 eventually. As picking any card, Caps going to get the trade-off kill, but hey, credit to KC for getting the trade, as they thought G2 had a little bit more damage than they did.
So 2 things happened that we expected. 1, Pantheon is top of the map. Hold on, Labrov, no flash.
He's just dead. And G2, I mean, they're getting fried all over the map.
Yeah, so we expected Broken Blade to get ganked. He lost his egg earlier on. Yike was towards the top side of the map. He did have his ultimate up and available.
It's the wall. I see the wall. Yike pause, guys. That's not a feature. No, I have no idea what it is.
Okay, I thought you were alluding to a chrono break, but this is not MCOY. It's Karmine Corp versus G2. So it's a whole different best of, you know?
Are you talking about MCOY's mid laner?
No, I would never.
Jojo Pyun.
I would never.
No. We're going to find out what it is.
All in good faith, of course. All in good faith.
Of course. We don't want to be fired. We've only just begun. It's only game 1. We've got so much to go. I mean, to be fair, Trouble, if this ends quick, this series, and Na'Vi MCOY is still going, I don't know how that's possible, because I think 3 games, would still take 3 games.
It could be 3 games for both. Could be 3 games for both.
But, yeah, I have a feeling MCOY will kind of fry Na'Vi as well. I'm just going to say that.
They did fry yesterday, so if they go off of the momentum, then pretty sure.
So I think this game's in an okay spot. We're going back in. Now, I have no information on the pause. I'm going to open up Discord. Short in-game pause. There was a headset issue.
Oh, headset issue. Okay.
But they're at home. How can you have a headset issue? Or a hotel. I don't know where G2 are. G2 look like they've just checked into the Marriott or something, and they've just set up some PCs. I don't know where they are. So we look at a replay.
All right, so there's no egg for Broken Blade. We saw Yak on the top side of the map, grabs his level 6, instantly falls upon Broken Blade, but Broken Blade lives for so long. That wall right there doesn't allow Kana to come through and put down the damage. Kana flashes way too late by that point. Both Skewmon and Caps has arrived, and it turns into a 2v1. Yike luckily manages to land that Q onto Skewmon and gets the extra kill, and it ends up being a 2-for-2. But at the end of the day, I feel like Casey got more from that. You saw that Yahoo stayed mid lane, grabbed the tire platings for himself, tried to sort of equalize as much as possible the 1 kill and assist that went over to Caps. And let's also not forget the passive from Twisted Fate, which also feeds you a bunch of gold. So it was pretty good from Yahoo right there to try and pressure that wave, try and get some gold back for himself.
Yeah, 500 gold, really not that much when you consider, again, that the extra 300 plus 6, by the way, from, killing Yike was added into the equation. Kana has Broken Blade again, overheat there. Edge of the Flame Spitter as the Glacial Storm comes out, and Kana's just going to reset now, setting up to the danger zone once again. Top lane is going really well for Kana, and I feel like, again, as the wave is held here, Broken Blade's in a bit of a pickle, as Yike is taking grubs. Now the information's given over, and with ulti almost up and available, I'm sure G2 have a timer on it, but like Broken Blade's like, man, I don't have egg, and I'm exposed to Yike as they now see him on a ward.
Yeah, there were really nice vision points for G2 in enemy topside quadrant right there. Yike will take the control ward, the other one sort of faded away. He's considering backing, but now he's moving back top. I think his Gromp is going to be spawning really, really soon. So maybe he doesn't necessarily have his first item completed. He's just looking for one more camp to then base. He's toying with ulting top. I think he is.
Oh, he is. Send it in again. Grand Star.
No.
The wall really good.
I mean,
Broken Blaze, he's getting down a little bit in this lane, but shout out to his walls, man. This guy, he'd be an architect.
That was perfect. Gets the little bit of a trade back onto Kana as well. We did say that there was going to be a lot about that top lane because bot lane is too slippery from both sides to be dived that easily. You need like a massive wave to dive that, and probably the Avengers. So you're probably going to need 4 members from each team. But top lane is just so exposed. No flashes from either. Very immobile. Yes, you have Egg for Anivia, but sometimes it doesn't just buy you enough time if you have the damage. So both teams are just leaning towards the top side of the map. It's been a horror for both of those top laners that don't know who's going to be coming in. Is it the Pantheon ulting in? Is it the Twisted Fate ulting in? But it is going to be another Dragon right here for G2 with a lot of control in the river, most likely.
All pings going down. Broken Blade doesn't have the teleport to match this. Kana's going to be closer to his TP as Wave meets at an even, and he might even have the equalizer up for a potential fight down here. As he'll get first push, Broken Blade will have to respond, and again, that timer might be big as G2's 2v2 getting fought out by KC. Flag and drag away from Yike Stun. Yahoo is looking for an angle as well as Caps walks back to lane, and Dragon now being pigged out. Looks like KC will have an edge on this for now, but as Yahoo goes for the push, it'll just be about what G2 can maneuver in as they look for something in the bot lane as well.
They're looking for a bit of a bot lane back and forth. They're going to force Bucio's ultimate right there, which then will allow G2 to walk a little bit more comfortably in this river. They do have the TF ult as well if they do need it. They're going to back off for the time being. But I feel like no Nami ult right there might give G2 the push they need to just fight this 4v4.
I agree. That Nami ult is a big usage there from Bussin. And so for KC, they've got 4 members in the bot side of the river, but Caps has push on mid. That's the commitment from Yahoo. And it's also given time for Broken Blade to get his TP back up. Pop Blossom flash. Kalisz found out with no mana and a Tangle Barbs. A flag in the air. Kalisz gets the trade, but Labrov just says, I am the sacrifice. Bucio flashes away from the Cataclysm, but as he gets out, now Dragon, still a thought process here as Flag and Drag going to reignite on top of Yike. He gets stunned up, and you said, yeah, Caps can bring himself in, but chooses not to for yet. Hansama steps up to this. Good kite away from that Comet Spear. But G2, the second thought of Dragon, is going to come again.
Ow! Great trade right here. Nice cancel on the back from Hansama. So Hansama, not only does he cash in on the kill, but also crashes that wave. Lots of XP. NCS lost right here from Kalisz. Luckily, Kalisz does grab the 300 gold from Labrov dying. And it's going to result in no one really gain inside this river. The Scuttle Crab ward is right there for KC if they want to see anything. Labrov might get caught again, but he misses.
Protobelt, everything as well. Twofold hex, and now for the weirding, it'll burst Labrov down. He's trying to kite away, but he's way too deep for this. Who's the kill going to Yahoo? Good choice there, as catching Labrov with his pants down.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a problem that we generally have in EU. I feel like a lot of our supports are just really good engaged support players, a little bit more tanky. I feel like a lot of our weaknesses come from when we're playing more enchanters, as Kalisz here, be too far forward.
Caps again. He's deep. He saw his team doing Dragon. He's like, it's absolutely fine. Now Caps is going to run from bottom lane.
They're off the Dragon again.
They are indeed. This Dragon's going to take about 5 years, according to Scale.
Nope. Skimmo's going to start it. Didn't fully reset. They know that without Corki and dead for another 12 minutes. 12 seconds, sorry. No, TP.
Hang on. Yeah, the wall's out again, but Broken Blade's going to get overheat. There's the flash from Yike. We're back towards Dragon. Hansama gets flashed on to survive. The Dragon goes down to G2. The Comet Spear hits him from range. Tidal Wave is back up. That's how long we've been dancing. As Yike's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Meanwhile, top lane, Broken Blade solo killed the Rumble. Busho stuck in the Thunderdome, and G2 just took 3 for 1. Got the second Dragon. I do not know how top happened. As Kalisz is now respawning. Flag and Drag. This guy's just inting. He flashes away with the Valkyrie. He gets away, but guys, I mean, it's 6-7 in the score. That really suits the game theme right now.
Don't.
Bro, it's so degenerate.
Listen, man.
I'm doing it. I'm doing the thing. I don't know what it is.
You go and daughter, man. Just do it for her, okay? Just don't. Just don't. Okay. Here's the 1v1 top lane. It was going so well for Kana. He was going so... Oh, he gets blocked by the minion. And then Broken Blade gets the stun underneath the tower, just about in range. And only that, he doesn't even pop the egg. He doesn't even get to pop the egg. That was absolute disaster from Kana up on the top side of the map. And he also responds to a lot of the questions on the Kana versus Broken Blade. You know, Broken Blade has been under a lot of criticism for those more aggressive matchups up the top side of the map. And I feel like him coming on top versus Kana is just a really good look for G2 overall.
I mean, it's hilarious to me, honestly. The fact that that minion is MVP.
Yep.
There's G2 looking for his own dragon, or rather own red buff. Human going to be found out.
He got it.
He's away the winning hits as well. He did get the red, you're right, but is it worth the flag and drag? He's out of there. As
Easy.
now comes in with the Tangle Barbs, Comet Spear at max range. We'll see even the 5-stack spear. And yep, for red buff, Yike walks away with nothing.
This is where you just all chat worth. Or try harder, or bring 100%. More. We had some really cool old chat messages from yesterday from Navi and Galleon, so maybe we'll have more interesting ones here as well. But Skimond wins the fight, gets out alive, doesn't have to flash, didn't have it anyway, continues clearing towards his bot side of the map, and G2 find themselves 2.2 thousand gold in the lead. Great start from Caps as well, almost has that Road of Ages. He's going to be residing most likely on his side lane, pressuring away like Twisted Fate does, and Ezreal will most likely grab that mid lane for the time being. And all in all, G2 is doing great right here, winning that early game. Majority of the skirmishes are going their way. They've got the first 2 dragons as well. All good?
Holy. Yeah, we just a bit of glaze for Kalist. I like it. I mean, yeah, he's Corky right now, and it has been a favorite. I think Kalist is someone who's optimally pulled out the Corky a lot during the split. Yeah, it was solo queue, but I'm cracking on with...
Wait, pro players play that?
They do,
I've been lied to. I've been lied to.
It's his most played of spring, but I do feel like in the LEC, Corky Nami, who's been found out, it was Lucian Milio as the answer. Then we went to Kalista Renata, and it's just been going this big cycle. But I do feel in this game, like, 1, Hansama got Ezreal, but 2, they got their lane. Corky Nami couldn't really do much, and Kalista made some pretty sad mistakes in this game so far. So while we are glazing him, not the best game so far, as we look for the gold card in top lane. Pop Blossom, no between worlds. How clean was that? Labrov is going to block another one, as the tanking was done by the bird in the top lane. Broken Blade gets the kill, while Casey going to try and open up mid, while top is the next target here for G2.
Yeah, Avengers assembling towards the top side of the map. Yahoo goes down. However, Kana, meanwhile, the top Herald was going down for G2, managed to get the entire tower down bot lane. Kalista and Busio, the second they see 4 members of G2 over the top side of the map, they do attack the mid lane tower. Only 1 tire plating left, only the tower left at the end. So really good stuff to try and crunch some gold around the map. The TP coming through from Broken Blade underneath the tower.
I mean, the tower is dead, but I respect it. Kana's now on the run. There's 5 members looking at him. Flag and drag sees him. I think the scrying ward was enough. Cataclysm as well locks him in the house, and with a nice little setup of a Q, Broken Blade's gonna, well, not secure the kill, but at least help up the Skewmond, as Kana is now getting bullied.
Yeah, Kana had to burn TP for that as well, if I'm not wrong. So Kana ends up going down, still slightly in the lead, but I feel like the entire map has been very G2 favored. And again, when Twisted Fate starts residing on a side lane, grabbing those tire platings, constantly pushing waves through his passive as well, the extra gold is just going to skyrocket in terms of items. Already has got 2 completed items and a crit cloak in his inventory, because why not?
Yep.
2,000 gold up onto Yahoo, and it's only gonna start growing from here. I feel like the only issue right here would be, where is Pantheon? G2 are gonna have to keep eyes on Pantheon the entire time, because Pantheon's gonna have to start hitting those side lanes. And Pantheon's usually homeless if towers are not down, but that bot lane tower has been taken down by KC, so I'm expecting Yike to wanna play towards the side of the map if someone's pushing.
I mean, Yike has to get busy. I feel like his early game was focused around the top lane, but now going into the mid game and trying to shut down some of those mid game pushes from Caps, the pressure is constantly going to come through. Broken Blade holding waves. It's really not. I mean, that's Dragon you're talking about. I know it's a 4K gold lead, and G2 are going to get 3rd Dragon. This right now, even though the kills look competitive, is looking like a bit of a stomp, as all in from Yike. Broken Blade has egg. Pop Blossom negates it. Yike is dead. He jumped in to die into the egg. It's a bit of a bait as Kalist gets exhausted, and Between Worlds has been used, but Yahoo doesn't get much damage down. Only Hansama, who had to flash and burn both summoners. Yes, it's something here for KC, but again, it's G2 at the helm.
Yeah, I feel like it's just such a sad game to play for Pantheon. Yes, you can use your ult. Yes, you can use your flash to engage. Kind of might get caught here. Does that have the flash?
He is indeed. He's going to be slowed. Tangle Barbs are beautiful. Once again, he's overheated, but he's got a blast going to get him out. So he'll just wait it out as red buff at max range of patience. Skewmon going to wait for it to reset. And that's going to be his again.
Yeah, so For KC to win this game, Yike is going to have to look like the dirtiest Inter that's ever been. You literally have to expend your flash, you have to expend your ult to get into the backline, to potentially grab someone who doesn't have summoners. I'm looking at Hansama right now, I'm looking at Labrov. These are probably his his top 2 targets, right, for the next fight, but he's going to have to expend his life for that. There is no reach from the side of KC. They do have a lot of distance, but it's just so difficult to breach that distance from G2. The range on TF, the range on Ezreal, so much control, area of control with the Anivia and the Nico. It's just really difficult to breach from the side of KC. So when Pantheon dives in and he doesn't instantly get a kill from something, you bet that this Pantheon is dead.
I mean, again, doesn't have the HP stats to contend with any kind of time. I mean, Shield also gives time for a Pantheon, but I do feel like, again, Yike is quite far behind. And
where are we driving this? No, nowhere.
We're just going to take it near top, I guess. I don't know. But Yike will be able to find this, get a smite down. Blue buff in the meantime. It's kind of the side eye that G2 are going to give. And take that blue buff. Remember, Baron's up as well. One more mistake. And even though G2 don't have a mega fast Baron comp, KC might be exposed. G2 setting up the flag. No drag as good damage from Skewmon. Big one from Kalist. Hurts a little bit here, but River Fruit's going to be picked on up. As G2 are also on a time for the next dragon. Soul in 3 minutes. They're just chilling right now, making sure that KC can't really overpush without some kind of response. Look top. Broken Blade is just carried on the wave to the inner turret.
And look how happily they are to try and take a fight as well. I want to direct your eyes over to Caps, who through Spellbook now has an exhaust. So Hansama's one is down, but due to the damage profile from KC, which is so high through 4 members on the team, an extra exhaust is always going to be useful. That's why you saw Caps playing a little bit more aggressively in case he needs to ult in. The exhaust is going to be there to negate a lot of the damage coming through from KC. I feel like this game is just going to become more and more difficult for KC to play. As the defensive items are going to start coming through as well. The Rod of Ages not fully stacked onto this Twisted Fate. Eventually, Garden Angel is going to come through. The Javan as well, stacking on Rod of Ages for the Anivia. It's going to be really big health bars to go through.
I mean, yeah, I am worried. Like, time given to G2, as you already talked about side lanes, you talked about this Anivia. It does feel like it's going to be really hard for KC as the Dragon setup is my biggest problem as well. I feel like running into this comp, there is so much chain CC. There's a bit of range zone as well. And even though you have a Rumble, you have an Aurora, and you think about these big spaces, like your ability to be versatile with Aurora ulti, with Rumble ulti, I do worry about things like the Anivia getting a bit of space, the deep vision as well. Flash Frost comes out of nowhere. I think the pick tools are just made that much easier with G2, like here, for example, being able to get deeper vision and into some of these narrow chokes. Hansama just waiting for Kalist. Control wall placed down by KC. They're hovering around this Baron side of the map, but remember, a minute 15, G2 have slowed everything down for the past couple of minutes because they know they have leverage between Baron, between Soul. KC will have to pick one, and G2 get to fight the other if necessary.
This is G2's world, and KC are living in it, and they're going to have to pick a fight for themselves, as I think that G2 might just pull the trigger for Baron right here. The Twisted Fate and the Ezreal do a lot of damage to the Baron. Hansama is going to play the shrimp role right here to try and bait KC forward. Caps with the slow right there. Going to throw out the yellow card. And this is an Aram.
Oh my god, Yike. He's up against the wall. Here comes the gold card. He's already set up his shield. Pop Blossom. It's Labrov again. He sends up the Tangle Barbs. True Shot Rise does good damage. And even though Labrov dies and Kana gets Hansama, well, actually not too bad. Skewmon going to die to the Proto Build, I think, as well, between two worlds, or rather flexing the twofold Hex. Caps gets a flank, but Yehu now. Half HP battle. Gold card about to come out again. Caps the damage. Unreal. He picks the card, and any card's going to do. There's Yehu on the run. There's the flash setting up with the Glacial Storm. Bird still has Egg and a gold card at max range. And the Flash Frost, even though KC found their best fight, the solo laners at G2 get it done.
A rat emote flash right there from Caps for the rat kind of champion that he's playing on the Twisted Fate. And honestly, hats off to Caps. He's making the champion look useful. Oh my god, have we seen some Twisted Fates over in Europe. But this is the best case scenario for KC. I want your eyes on Yike and I want your eyes on Kana right here. They split apart G2. They make them overextend. Everyone's looking at Yike's half HP. And this is where Labrov gets a big ult. But then Yike turns it around, kills Labrov, kind of flashes in and gets exhausted. And even through exhaust, he takes down Hansama. So they've won on that front, right? Then Kalist gets caught over in the backline and the rest of them get chased off. But this is what a best case scenario fight looks like. The equalizer was great. Kana gets to flash in. And this is where Pantheon goes in. Yike, it's not a 50-50 if he's in the pit.
That's true. As, okay.
It was this time, I guess.
Yeah, I guess Ocean Soul's picked up, and G2 now 6.5k gold lead. So I think that was Casey's best chance of the game. Cataclysm comes out, and between worlds, Human ready to follow it up. There's a flag and drag. You ain't going to get out of this one, as Caps is just going to join in for an easy kill. Dude, he autoed and then walked away. Like, he knew, man, I've got this in the bag. He didn't even stay.
And also, you mentioned all the distance that G2 has. Let's see if Broken Blade can keep some distance here.
I have a feeling he might be okay. Yeah,
he's fine. He's got the egg as well. He'll be fine. But yeah, add the rapid fire cannon to the distance as well. The yellow cards are going to be raining from the sky, and G2 are going to start the Baron. I mean, there's just nothing KC can do at this point. Zero vision, zero engage. Their team fights are not very easy versus G2's composition, and I feel like this is just going to be a textbook G2 game 1.
It really is. I mean, it's from the start, I would say, that as soon as top went awry, as soon as top kind of went face down, I think G2 kind of had this game in the bag. Caps has been scaling all along, and Caps has just been chilling all along, I should say. And G2, I mean, you call it textbook, I would definitely say it never has to be super clean, but playing with their hands, showing the diff, and that kind of feels like G2 to me. Let's see again. Equalizer down on the level 18 Anivia. Equalizer doesn't slow him enough. Glacial Storm does slow Kana though. And there's 3 people top of KC now. And you can see pings are going down. Caps is going to go into the brush. Yike tries to get him, get the stun. Finds out that he's in big trouble. Gold card down. Sends up the AE just. But yeah, Yike is going to be pulled on in. And I think by his own accord, he's dead. So G2 make a counterplay.
You know what? He needed that, man. I feel like Yike needed that. He needed that neutral objective smite for game 2, just to get that boost going, because Skewmont has beat him on a 50-50 every time there was one in this game. Skewmont has been absolutely on point, and now G2 with the remainder of the Baron, still got 2 minutes left on that. They've dumped the Twisted Fate over in the bottom of the map. They're pressuring us 4 over in the mid lane, threatening with the Javan as well. And yeah, this is pretty much textbook when you've got Baron. You just attack all the outer towers, and then you look to end the game with probably the next one.
Well, they'll be at least able to open up mid turret, it feels like, as well. Hansheimer slowly whittling it down as Broken Blade's there to zone. And Lebrov looking for an angle as Caps is going to push in the bottom lane in the meanwhile. You can see top lane, not really anything to go by for now, as Yike's going to ulti in. But, yeah, but where is Yike? Just ultied in the wave. I think he tried to predict that Skewmon wasn't going to get it.
That's what Skewmon was. I think he engaged on Yahoo, if I'm not wrong. But this is just going to give a bunch of numbers advantage to G2, who with the Baron buff, they're just going to take that inhibitor for free.
Okay, well, there's always a side play for G2 as Skewmon's going to get the next wave in. You mentioned the Baron before. It's got a minute left to play. 4,000 gold already. This turret's going down. There is nothing KC can do to stop it as Broken Blaze is going to look for a Flash Frost again. Yeah, who doesn't go into it with the weirding, but Caps gets in, sends up, I believe, his flash.
God.
Or he just walked in, I think, and
just walked in, that was rapid fire.
Okay, that was easy.
That was his rapid fire. He just walked up, yellow carded Kalist, did half his HP in damage, and just walked back out. And KC just do not have an easy answer for a disengage. For a re-engage. It's a 10,000 gold lead for G2, and I think we're just having to start thinking about game 2. Again, remember, this is not a best of 3. This is a best of 5. So plenty of room for KC to come back in the series.
Yeah, reset, because this one was not it. And obviously, yeah, I mean, I think Yike had a bit of a rough game. I'm getting this weird feeling that I remember his Pantheon from this split being a lot better than this. Like, one of his highest win rate champions, but I'm also sitting there thinking, like, has been the best quality. Gold card, by the way, going to find with the Destiny. True Shot Barrage on Yahoo. Soul damage, puts him down to half HP as top turret the next objective. And yeah, this is
Lebrov is doing his best Healisang impression, just pushing the wave. Not bringing his team as a support. Oh, nice equalizer.
Tidal wave's good. Yeah, Broken Blade almost dies. He just walked up to that one. Yike now looking for an angle. That is a clone he finds a stun on as Glacial Storm just in case. KC do manage to defend top wave, but again, it's mitigating. It's just buying time. But maybe you get Yike on an Elder flip. But G2 are going to TP anyway. I don't know if we're getting Elder at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they should stay. Look at the bot lane wave. They've sent Kana over there to defend that. No equalizer, no TP. It's going to be yet another tower.
Jesus. Yeah, now all 3 inhibs are down. And here comes the final defense. Kalist almost dies to True Shot Barrage. I think he got healed by Busio.
Yep.
now they wait for the waves. G2 have got triple inhibitor to work with.
Yeah, they don't need no Elder. This has been textbook enough for G2. They know they have the extra dollar in the pockets to end this game.
Okay,
Yike.
all in, send it. Skumon predicts it very nicely. Yike just goes to his death. I think he knows this one's over. Cataclysm to steal the deal. Caps is indeed godlike, 8-0 and 6. Pop Blossom flash and gets a flash out of Gliss, or at least the Valkyrie. There's a flag and drag as Skumon claims one for himself. Meanwhile, Broken Blade about to go into the egg. He flashes away, but Kana gonna find him with the Electro Harpoon, and the Comet burns him alive. Overheating,
Someone
kill
help.
him. But the health is a lot to work through. It took too much time. Equalizer down. I feel for Kana because these team fights, he's performing the best with Yahoo. But they'll both drop into the dirt before they get a chance to bring the game back. With a 13k gold lead with Caps 8-0 and 10. G2 wiped the floor with KC in our upper bracket final.
All right. That is now a 3-0, a consecutive 3-0 of G2 over KC from their best of 3 in the LEC all the way to now. They have won all 3 games back to back. And I feel like, I don't know, KC might have to just show some weird champs right here because their draft was so miserably difficult to play into all this space that G2 was creating.
Yeah, I feel like G2 are, I mean, they're just on a different level again. Like ever since, I think it was the second last week of LEC, G2 came back and then they haven't left. So as we look at replays of the game, what do you do? I can hear you, Trouble, on the game. That's fun. That's exciting. Hang on,
You can
I fixed
hear me.
it. Don't worry. Derek's PC has broken a second time and I fixed it again.
Listen, don't tell people that we've been trying to fix your microphone for the past 15 minutes.
Firefox just hates me, man. And then Chrome comes in and I'm just like, what's going on?
Save the day.
Yeah, we're okay.
All right. So I feel like from both of these teams, there was a very clear plan of, hey, listen, both top laners, carries. Both top laners, pretty vulnerable. Both of them, not extremely mobile. So once they lose their flash, we can maybe use our globals to try and get our top laners ahead and they both can carry. Wasn't quite the case. There was a constant back and forth. The bot lane for G2 was constantly winning. The mid lane for G2 was constantly moving with Caps going all over the map and Skumon creating those openings for G2 that I felt like no matter how much they tried to get gold into Kana, it just didn't matter because they just consistently shut him down.
Yeah, and on your screen, like, you know, Casey did have a bit of gold to play with in this fight. Like, this was the most successful fight of the game, but G2 still got to pick apart the pieces. Solo lanes did pretty well this game, and the rest was history from there. So, yeah, shout out to G2. I mean, again, their 2v2 was kind of set up for success. This Corky Nami has just not had great success past, I think, week 2 of LEC Spring.
Yep.
And I'm consistently reminded that Han Summer's having an insane split. I think we talked a lot about Caps, a lot about Broken Blade, but Han Summer, like if people didn't vote for him as top 3 AD carries in the All-Pro votes or even like consider him for, you know, MVP of the split, at least in your top 3, I think you're trolling. I think if you're putting anyone like Callisto super above him, you just have not been watching the games. Like him and Lebrov this split have had a masterclass performance. So big shout out to them. They had another good time. Lebrov, yeah, a little bit inty, but bro, he sacrificed his life in all these fights just to get good engages. So, yeah, shout out.
Hey, listen, I was talking about our support. It's been incredible and engaged. And once they play an enchanter, they're like, I'm just going to go into enemy jungle when the enemies have actually respawned and they're working from base. And then I'll just get caught somewhere around their red buff because I'm trying to ward on a champion that's too squishy. So I feel like other than this, I feel like the supports have been pretty great. And Lebrov as well, playing those enchanters. And they've definitely been developing, I want to say, on that front.
And they definitely have. Quick question, though. Why do they make Labubus bigger? Like, why is that size mega big and the rest are small?
See, this is normal size. This guy, wait, down here, this guy's normal size.
Yeah.
And this is jumbo. Oh, and this is mid.
Okay.
This is like middle size.
That's mid.
With the hat. He's a farmer.
But isn't that scary to you? Like, if you had the teeth scare me. I don't understand. Why do they put teeth on the thing?
He's smiling. Do you never smile?
It's not a smile. That's a demonic smile. If I walked in at night, had the lights off, and all I could see was lights around, I don't know if you have lights around your glass case, and you could see that thing. Nah, man. No, I would throw that out the window. That thing is a demon. That thing's an absolute demon. But hey, power to you.
Bro, you're just a hater, bro.
I'm just distracted. It just scares me. It's like I come back to your camera and I'm just seeing that thing and I'm thinking, what the helly-melly is that? Like that
Listen,
thing needs to go.
When we go to break, if we go to break, I don't know if there's a break. I'm just gonna make him look towards you, towards the camera, because I can move his eyes. So you just wait.
You can move the eyes. You can't. Can you move the eyes individually?
Yeah. The eyes move.
What? Why is it a?
I can make him derpy. I can make him derpy as well.
Yeah, I mean that's better for me. That would make him less offensive and less scary to me. I think
just a little bit silly.
It bothers me. I'm sure people watching at home, surely they see that and they go, I don't know. But anyway, look, I got distracted. I can't remember what we're talking about. All that matters is that
G2 Casey, game one going to G2 pretty convincingly.
Oh man, yeah. I think G2 are stomping. As soon as Paolo tells me I can go to a break, he does say it.
He already has. Send it.
W production. We'll be right back. Short break, and then we return game 2 to see if KC got some oomph in their step. Thank you for the explanation.
Lately, I feel I can't find my feet. Pushing closer, my heart skips a beat, and now I'm falling. Deeper than I fly, I can't control it. Dark against the sky, it's not so black and white. It's like I told him. There's things that I can't fight. I just keep going. Just keep going. In my time, I've been dreaming of a space to really fill my place. I wish he'd seen what I had dreamed. Before these darker days, I thought I found my way. Quickly it fades, losing the race, closing the page. In and out.
G2 had a convincing victory, I would say. I don't know. Let's just call it a good victory. Yep. However, KC, a little bit in the chamber. Kana had a pretty good reactive performance, and they had a fight where that game could have gone either way, but we're going to sit on the fact that G2 are kind of back. So let's see if they can do it again, Trouble. We're going to go and pick and ban. And remember, it is Fearless here as well. So Bard taken off the board against Busio is exactly where you want to start.
I'm looking at things like the Lucian and the Caitlyn rising in priority. Usually the Caitlyn goes hand in hand with the Bard, but we have seen a lot of different iterations of Caitlyn lanes. Her range just makes her very unique in terms of priority. So I'm looking to see what happens with these two, since all three primary junglers have been either played or taken away in this pick and ban. So I'm looking at Karma, I'm looking at Caitlyn, and I'm looking at what happens to Lucian.
Karma's a really good call out. I like that one as well. And as you said, the Lucian Milio lane yet to be performed. However, usually into the Corki Nami, so we'll see if it still hits priority, as Nautilus is the engaged support that's consistently taken away. Azir in other regions has kind of fallen off. I wonder here in LEC/EWC qualifier if Azir will still be prioritized, because Yahoo loves it. Cap's historically still a decent Azir. Vi is, of course, open, banned away last game, so first picked.
All right, well, they're hovering it for now. This is also BB, so it could be a bait for Yike. You never know. It's not actually a bait. It's a B1 Vi. Now, whenever I see B1 Vi, first of all, I do get a bit barf in my mouth. But I'm looking to see if the team is actually going to play for the Vi. Because B1 Vi has been one of the most disastrous picks in history. You suddenly pick B1 Vi, and then the rest of the team is front to back, and then Vi just goes in all alone. So I'm looking to see what they're going to surround the Vi with, whether it's going to be aerial support with damage or actually bodies diving in with her. Oh.
That's another flex. That's another flex. That can go top, that can go jungle. I mean, like, Nefiri has been an answer to like the Varus top, but obviously Varus not going to be picked. Most likely it's going to be Yike, but still the dog's locked in. Now, what's G2's response here to something like the Lulu, considering that we saw a flex and hover of the Blitzcrank before? It could be a Lux Morgana angle, or a Karma, I guess, would be Mega.
Oh, yeah. That is one of the hardest pushing lanes in the game. That, alongside Seraphine Ashe, alongside Ezreal Karma, a lot of range, a lot of wave clear, a lot of threat for just walking up and Wing with Karma and actually getting people chunked down with the duo. So far, I really like this. Vi really thrives when she has a lot of pushing lanes. So Karma and Caitlyn right here should definitely be able to push against that Yunara Lulu lane.
Well, with Vi locked in, I mean, Yunara is just going to try and, I guess, play bot lane to the best of her extent. But for Kalista and Busio, this might be a hard 2v2, as surviving scaling so far for KC seems to be their goal, as Talia is going to be taken away, which to me symbolizes that we might get that Rise, we might get that Azir. Like, both are possible here for Yahoo. I mean, that does fish for a bit of an Azir for me, Trouble. But Vayne's gone on the other side here for G2, so that could also symbolize Gnar/tank matchup in the top lane for Broken Blade.
Yeah, also Vayne is just really good into a lot of the ranged champions altogether. Just Vayne is like an all-rounder over on the top side of the map. I feel like Talia also pairs up really well with Vi, apart from being super good into things like the Azir. However, I would like to see a really good mid combo with the Vi, things like the Syndra, things like the LeBlanc, things like the Akali. So if Caps does find the angle, I'm expecting an R4 mid lane coming through for Yahoo, so they can keep the counter pick for Kana top lane.
That makes sense. That's, I think, the best thing to do, especially when Kana does feel like one of the stars. I mean, look, both these rosters, everyone's a star really, but counter and counter pick is what I like to see. Is it looks like G2 are fishing for those potential counters. Narban might also symbolize maybe something like a Renekton here, maybe something like that Cassante top lane here for Broken Blade, where he goes on weak side where they've already got a strong 2v2. On the other side for KC, you said it, Yahoo needs to pick in something solid, goes to the Annie to pair with the Nefiri. I mean, I like it here. Orianna wasn't up and available, so next best thing feels like the lock-in.
That is fantastic. He pairs up really nicely, as you mentioned, with the Nafiri. That level 6 pretty much solidifies that you get Dragon 9 out of 10 times. You dump T-Burst on enemy mid laner, you send them back to base, numbers advantage in the river, you still have the T-Burst hanging around, and you can very easily start stacking Dragons in the early game, especially with Nafiri wanting to get ahead through that early game. Cassante is the pick for that top side of the map. And Cassiopeia hovered right here. We have seen the matchup, and it can get very oppressive. However, because the range is very similar on the spells of Cassio and the spells of Annie can get really favorable trades in the early game.
That is true. I want to see how mid goes, but I also want to see how top goes because I'm worried. Top lane carry. I mean, yeah, I do feel like if you go something with poke here, though, Trouble, I mean, you don't have the front to back for Yunara Lulu when already, like, we're looking at Cassio, Caitlyn, looking at range, Jules. Needs to be a San. I respect this from Kana. It is going to be a noodle fight in the top lane because otherwise, what was their front line? What was their engage? Because they do need some kind of setup here alongside the Annie, and I feel like San was the best choice.
Yeah, I feel like Yunara does need that front line. However, when you have the T-Burst, I feel like a lot of times T-Burst becomes your pseudo zoning / tanking tool. And if you just 100% to zero somebody, it instantly becomes a 4 versus 5. Jace could have worked, but obviously Sign is a lot better for the construction of the team fights later on and how they're played. I'd love to see that mid lane interaction just a little bit. I have seen this matchup in particular go back and forth. We saw Poby, did he play it yesterday? Maybe he played another day as well. Again, Annie looks very, very threatening into the Cassiopeia, specifically on that level 6.
Holy sorry, I just got to look at Labrov's water bottle as we're about to go into game. That was massive. Labrov has like a 3-liter water bottle,
Stay
bro.
hydrated.
Hey, he knows. Holy crap. Good on you. Hey, everyone, go have a drink. Go have a drink of water. Go look after yourself. You need at least 3 liters a day, or like 2.5. I'm pretty sure it's 2.3 at the bare minimum. If you don't have enough water.
2 liters, no?
No, it's not.
Minimum?
2 is some absolute soy gameplay of water. Hang on. Minimum. I love at home broadcast. This is what I grew up on, you know. I love this. I can straight away Google it for everyone. Minimum water intake required daily as we get into game 2. And I can tell you, you need 2.7 liters. It says 3.7 in some cases. Nah.
You'll be swimming in water.
Bro, 15.5 cups, 3.7. That is bait. Nah. All right, just drink at least 2.3. I think that's fair enough as we get into game now. Tank top, whatever, that's fine. Mid, DFT, mid laners. Remember, 26.9 before that minimization of our new rune. Where it gets nerfed yet again as Caps starts Twin Fang and he just burns Yahoo down. Remember, you get 4 seconds of DFT with a single target ability like Twin Fang. So for Cassiopeia, it feels so nice just running at people. It's like we have refillable. What is it? What is the potion that you used to buy Trouble?
Oh, the one with damage.
Yeah, the damage one.
Corruption potion?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, no. Potion of corruption potion, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Where Caster's just bought it, ate it level 1, and just pressed E, and you just like 75% health level is broken.
And you just played under your tower for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Listen, as a Katarina player, I remember that damn potion, okay?
Holy.
I remember you, man.
Yeah, it was a great gameplay you must have had. As you wanted to see mid lane interaction. Cap's going to show it to you a little bit, at least here in the early levels. Level 2 now acquired, though, and looks like Yahoo's been able to chug at least a pot. But it's doing okay as G2's 2v2 again. Hey, surprise, is going to be even better than last game.
Yeah, they have been putting a lot of effort into getting those high push bot lanes. And again, I want to reiterate that with Vi, you do really need those pushing lanes, particularly because it's very easy to invade in the early games. It's not that great at defending herself. So having mid push and bot push for Skewmont gives him a little bit of peace of mind to path towards that bot side of the map and actually play for that Scuttle Crab. You see Yahoo under tower, Kalista and Busio also under tower. So Yag's gonna have, what I say, to do the walk of shame. Not because he's drunk, but because he has to walk all the way to the top side of the map to secure a Scuttle Crab.
You're gonna be burned in the mid lane. Caps did miss a bit of CS, by the way. I don't know what happened, but it must have been his trading with Yahoo where he dropped a couple of minions. So shout out to Yahoo, who's been pretty consistent. I don't know if he got 19 of 19 in the first 3 waves, but still, it feels like he got close to. As I said, TPO is going to be burned. Yahoo still has that on leverage. He's going to be using it now as Caps gets him down low. And as the wave neutralizes, Yike's going to be heading up towards top side. I guess he's going towards top side scuttle, but...
Yep, that is the walk of shame. You're pathing one way, but then you have to walk all the way to the other one.
As you do. Nice knock into the air. Kana, hang on, broken blade. He gets grasped. Kana's going to get the W out, and yeah, full decimating smash. Looking good. Yehu just TP'd in. He gets a stun. That saves his life. If he didn't have that incinerate up, I think Yehu was dead.
Yeah, but that's a flash burn from Skewmont on a Vi. So great stuff right there from Yahoo to have the flash, and Yike is looking top.
Meanwhile, Pathmaker, yeah, it's already been used. Double Dark and Daggers. Kana almost dies. Under turret, Yike has to tank it up. Almost dies himself. Everybody lives.
Ooh, that was so stressful right there. Broken Blade with very, very minimal mana and HP under the tower. Yike is not even going to attempt a redive. The tower was ramped up from Kana. And Yike ate the 2 tower shots, almost kills him. And now it's Skewmont looking top. Kana has the flash, but no HP or mana to back it up.
Kana, I mean, yeah, Vault Breaker not going to be used as well. Pixel Brush timing was not good. And I think Kana was kind of fainting that he was backing away as he's putting the ward down. So push will continue. Skewmont not able to get anything done, and top lane will continue on. Kana looking great, by the way. I mean, one thing we didn't get to talk about, it's a wet noodle fight, but like Sion not getting threatened in the 1v1, it feels really good considering the fact that, yeah, the all-out might change things, but as a Sion, you are cheering if you can get these W stacks up and grasp up early as well.
My favorite story on the Rift hysterics, apart from the noodle fight top lane that you just mentioned, is when supports get bored.
Bro.
And actually start 1v1ing each other. It happens a lot. It's an AD carry syndrome where they're left all alone down bot lane to farm for about 20 minutes, and then they just expend all the summoners and ultimates to go at each other, and then they both live on 1 HP, and that's it. But they've at least had some action in 20 minutes. This is kind of what happened down there as Busio attempted to push that wave. Labrov then didn't let him because Karma has really, really nice push. And now Busio is just shadowing the mid lane. Skewmont's going to show up together with Labrov. It's a 3v3.
They might send it. Dark and Dagger in the first one. Yike's going to get rooted down. Labrov gets damaged down, but again, calls the pack in, goes invulnerable, or at least missing.
It's the scuttle.
From a marker of Summoner's Rift. All out's going to be used. Kana at half HP, but again, he's fine. He went Chain Vest first, and Broken Blade just walks up, trying to get himself a little bit of damage on the turret. Flip back, Kana kites out as well, gets a cannon, as Dragon's going to be started in the bottom side of the map. You know, when I see that Dragon lower third, that picture-in-picture in the corner, it makes me want to play Skyrim so bad. It makes me, like, revisit how good Skyrim was when you first, like, met a dragon. When you first played it, you loaded it up, you get through the campaign, and you see a dragon, you're like, oh my god, this is epic. Shaking the screen, everything going on.
I don't know about a dragon, but this is the level 6 we mentioned. The Tiber's going down. It didn't do enough damage to Caps to dissuade him from walking into the river. So G2 and KC, they just want to brawl.
Maybe I'm getting that feeling again. Han Summer gets tagged on out, calling the pack in. Yike brings more dogs, but Han Summer is a threat. Getting away from that Hilt over Peacemaker. Labrov steps up and gets a root down onto Kalist. Mana bar very low for KC, by the way. Caps coming in with a petrifying gaze. Kalista just pressed Q and trying to find it through autos. Lethal tempo and flash away from Labrov. Han Summer, Glitterlance flash away from that. KC have ducks in a row, man. Yike's got his ulti. He sees Han Summer. And now here comes the reset. An easy double Dark and Daggers. It's going to connect. A double kill over to Yike, and KC wipe G2.
KC were very confident. They had just used Tiber's mid lane to chunk down Caps. They've got extra bodies in the river, the extra dogs that Tiber's really does cover. A lot of room in that river. And look at Yahoo's positioning in just a bit. He actually gets Skewmont super low. It was actually before what we're seeing right now. And Skewmont had to bail out the back of the pit. Smite goes down from Yike to give him that level 6 to allow for the dive that we're just going to see onto Han Summer. So all in all, KC used their extra bodies in the river really well to cover their bases and push G2 out. Also catching a bit of gold from taking some kills with that.
I mean, I think it's important. This is a game. We talked a lot about the lanes of G2 and at least especially what mid could be, but especially what bot is. But a kill over to the Yunara slows things down. A kill onto Yike and at least 2. In this case, speeds up this jungler to start controlling the Rift. KC didn't pick up the dragon that's still sitting there after the fight, but it does feel like, again, seeing an Neferi ahead early is a recipe for success for KC to get this game rolling.
Yeah, and we kind of set this up in draft, right? The Annie is just such a huge tool for Nafiri. It pretty much gives bot lane access in the river after that level 6, after you get the Tibber, which actually solidified that, yeah, it gets the Skull Crab, grabs that level 6. Cumod looking mid.
Decent assist. Yeah, grounded he is as well. Gets Incinerate down, jumping in. Petrifying Gaze gets the slow, and there's the kill. Now Yike in trouble as well. A Vault Breaker out as Yike has the flash, but Caps gets the flash Twin Fang. It's 2 kills for G2 in the mid lane as Kliss sends it with the all-in. Wants to get that Arc Light of Ruin, lay it down. He does indeed find it, but Han Summer, not enough damage yet to get the 80 carry of G2. Kliss sends it in, but G2 will live.
And they just do it again. They literally just lost a fair and square 4 versus 4 in the river. Skewmond gets back up, grabs his level 6, gets the ult, insta dumps it onto Yahoo over in the mid lane. Flashless Annie gives 2 kills over to Caps, and the shutdown from Yike. Rodo, they just completed only 8 minutes in.
Caps again had a great game 1 on the Twisted Fate. It was clean, and now he's just outplayed the hands of the mid jungle from KC. I'm sure we'll get a replay that in a second, but as you said, Rod of Ages tier stacking up. Caps 1,000 gold ahead, and all of a sudden that bot lane play mitigated as we watch one more time.
Yeah, asking you, Sal receive right there, the miasma going down, and Yahoo has to use his W super early, doesn't have the stun. Caps and Skewmon just run them both down.
Well, 46 gold on Yike as well. That's a nice catch in. Caps running the region, running the game, running the series. We'll find out as Dragon
running Gen G. From what I can remember.
Hey,
hey, let's go.
That's
Listen,
right.
It doesn't happen very often. We gotta use it while we can.
Hey, but it will happen again. Don't you worry. Second best region always delivers as Yike is going to get the Dragon in the meantime. Broken Blade has a wall there. All Out is up and available, but Broken Blade not going to pull the trigger just yet. Top lane, the noodle continues, but hey, it is what it is. There's attention top lane. Skewmon is going to use the push to now take the grubs, while Yike is just clearing out his bot side after picking up the Dragon. So small trade here for what it's worth, as gold is about 200 ahead for G2. Really nothing, but considering the early game play, I'd say G2 not in a bad spot, considering KC just wiped 3 off the map in the first 6 minutes. Are we doing it again?
Yike is shadowing right here, but I wonder if they're going to consider diving at all. There is barrier and heal, and they're looking for it. The ult goes in.
Yeah, call the pack is good. Polymorph as well. Han Summer doesn't get to move. Arclight of Ruin lays down Lebrov. Yike now pulls in a Hound's Pursuit. Caps came in. Petrifying Gaze finds the jungle, but Caps is in a 1v4. We were just praising him, but Caps kind of entered with the TP. Yike picks up 2 more kills, and KC are essentially given Uber Eats in the bot lane.
Again, 10 minutes in the game. The TP still pretty darn slow. I feel like Caps thought that Hansam and Lebrov would buy more time having the barrier in the hill, but a 2-kill Nafiri absolutely shreds through their HP bar. They kill them so fast, and they lose nothing, because Yike uses his W to evade the last tower shot, which was ramped up from the tower. So even though Cassiopeia lands in and tries to salvage the situation, the HP bars are just too damn high for KC, and Yahoo had already responded, roaming bot lane.
That was a good pickup, Trouble. I mean, again, yeah, Caps TP'd right on the mark of like, old Nefiri's here, but yeah, TP's mega slow, so there's nothing he could do once he was there. So shout out to KC though. I mean, Yike is really getting the pace going. He already had Voltaic Cyclosword that, yeah, now leads into Pickaxe. This is a clinical game here as he looks for the invade, but a Vault Breaker might find him. Yike's going a little bit deep here. He goes in the Hound's Pursuit to go invulnerable, but now doesn't have it. Cease and desist after the Vault Breaker. Yike is getting shredded by Skewmon. The damage is nuts still. This is the power of Vi at 1 item. Taken down pretty much solo.
I will say this game is getting a bit messy. Weird teleports coming through that are slow. Yike invading when his Annie's underneath the tower, and bot lane is resetting, so he doesn't even have support with him. Gets caught in the jungle. I guess Yike is feeling very strong, right? He was a level up, I think, at that point. He had the extra items in his inventory, so he felt like he could take the 1 versus 1. But with G2, it is never a 1 versus 1. 3 members appear from G2. They take him down. They shut him down for the 2nd time in the same game.
Well, I mean, Yike making mistakes like that. Again, it's the 2nd time we're like, oh, we'll kind of get the mitigation, rather, if I can speak, of the play that happened towards bottom lane. Yike now spotted out an award by Caps, who is an obvious target, not having flash, but good information gathered. There's also, I think it's that deep ward in the top side of the map. We are watching 2v2 down in the bottom lane in the meanwhile. They're trying to draw out Kalist ulti, or at least a barrier. Built over Peacemaker doesn't connect. Ace in the hole, held onto by Han Summer as he receives the wave. But yeah, that topside ward, that's now going to be taken out on our minimap. Yike spots it out, takes the control down. But with that information, Skumon knows he's up here, and he's just looking in for the 1v1 with Caps at his side.
Here we go again, the junglers. Yahoo walking in, the ult.
Call the pack going to be used. Eviscerate, no, just Hound's pursuit.
What is going on?
Kill, and a reset as well onto Caps. Maybe thinking about it as well. Petrifying Gaze catches him, though. It's an easy one as a Cassiopeia, but he doesn't have enough damage to stay and call the fight.
Jake, what is going on? This is just an ego battle going on. You went at my Raptors, I'll go at your Raptors. You didn't have mid lane prio, I don't have mid lane prio. Let's just go at it. It's never 1v1. It's never Nafiri versus Vi. It's always one team versus another. Yahoo getting caught here. Doesn't have flash. He'll be fine. He's got the squid coming. Yeah.
And Busio's with him as well. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, junglers are kind of sending it. Yeah, I think they're all squids at this point. Yeah,
shout out. He's wearing a squid on his head.
I know he is, but squid in Australia is something we call someone who's, sometimes when people are a little bit silly. If you call someone a squid, yeah. In Australia, we used to call people squids all the time. In high school, be like, oh, you're such a squid. It's just like sometimes a little bit silly. I mean, there are more harsh words for it, but...
Which is funny because squids are actually clever, but hey.
Are they actually?
Yeah.
Well, I should eat more of them then. I should actually eat more of them. Good idea. You're Greek. You eat squids as well. W squids. All right.
Oh, God, no.
Actually, octopus clears. By the way, octopus is, if you overcook octopus, chewy. If you find good octopus, though, you should tell me, Trouble, like that octopus can be some of the best meat, no?
Yep, 100%. Yeah. But you're not going to find it here in Germany, mate, so don't get too excited.
No. Oh, my God. Even sushi here is fried. Like, it's rubbish. Dragon's up, by the way. Herald's up in 30. That's a bit of a play as LeBron's going to get sent up. Call the pack on his head. Wild growth on his head as well. LeBron, will he be saved? No, the Hound's pursuit as a reset is given over to Yike, who's just clearing.
Too deep.
This is Eviscerate and double dark and daggers. Yike is 7-2-1. Now Hansamah's in the pit by himself.
Oh,
he wants to get out, but again, calling the pack in. Yike has got himself an entry. He wants to eviscerate over the walls. Broken Blade now in the choke. Double dark and daggers. Broken Blade has to flash away from it. Decimating Smash catches him at the end, though. The ulti misses from Kana, but it won't matter. Broken Blade is still squishy enough to the 4 members of KC, but Capsy stands in. Petrifying Gaze does get good damage down as Kana won't walk into his range, but look at Kalist. He's pumping out the damage as well with the Kraken Slayer as KC still find a winning fight. They're 10-3. Dragon, it doesn't go down, by the way, as Kalist gets slowed on down. Broken Blade's going all on out. Pathmaker, dodged by Kalist. We're just getting silly with it, I think, but KC are happy to do so. They keep winning these fights. G2 are just sending it, and every time I think it's getting worse.
I feel like KC are playing so aggressive with Yike's lead that they're confusing G2 and they're forcing them to overextend. At the start of this fight, Labrov is way too overextended. Doesn't have flash, doesn't have heal. Super immobile onto the Karma. He's literally playing in the bush in the face of KC. Whilst Cassante is not there, backup is not there. Now Hans is caught between a rock and a hard place, tanking the Dragon, which is slowing him, so he can't play there. Skumon dives in to try and save Hans. He's suddenly 1v4 into a 7-kill Nafiri, and Broken Blade and Caps are just left to try and salvage the situation by trying to outplay KC underneath the tower. And I see it. Caps is trying. He's going above and beyond on this Cassiopeia. He's the only one ahead in gold as well. But it's just not very easy when you're 2v5.
What the hell is happening now? Like, what? I mean, G2 are down 4,000 gold. Shout out to KC. Like, every time it's scrappy, Yike must be cheering because now with the Black Cleaver, he's getting resets. He's getting to pivot on the fight wherever he wants. Kalist has also just been benefiting. The 2v2 of Hansamah and Labrov this game has done absolutely nothing. But also, I mean, Skumon's attention hasn't strictly been focused towards bots. Skumon on this Vi hasn't strictly been really that impactful.
I don't think he's been anywhere. He's been in Yike's face, and Yike has been in his face. And it's just been a case of, hey, I'm going to fight you, you're going to find me. Whoever gets their team here first wins. I think in terms of that, it's been a little bit silly, both junglers invading each other. But so far, so good for KC, because Yike is the one collecting all the kills on the Nafiri. And we really want to reiterate how important getting the Nafiri ahead is in the early game, because everyone's just too squishy in the early. And Nafiri just burns through those HP bars with ease.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Nafiri, he just has a free ride to a game 2 win, I think, at this point. Unless things slow down here for G2, but with Herald, I think that's going to be quite the opposite. Kana going to stop some backs here. Herald's going to go down. Yike has an angle either in top or mid. But right now, Caps is pushing bot waves, so KC needs something because gold is being minimalized. Simply the fact that Hans is able to hold this wave, even with Kana on the side. Caps is going to find first turret, TP to top, and slither through the lane. He's going to be seen as he goes across river, right? I can't remember if that's how TP works, but like, he's now in top lane. Yeah, who's going to back? And next wave is going to get pushed in. Yeah, he's just going to get the wave and look for pressure on top.
He's just looking for more tower platings, right? If you look at the damage distribution on the side of G2, with Caitlyn being 2,000 gold behind, it's just all Caps. 2 kills in, almost stacked Rod of Ages. He's looking for his second item. Yahoo's running down Broken Blade, and the Avengers are suddenly showing up top side of the map with the rebuild.
And putting down the miasma's good, but Cap's going to get stunned on up. They've got a target. Cap's going to flash away into the brush to dodge. Arclight of Ruin slows him down. Petrifying Gate only is slow as well, and Kalish just sends it in. Caps is dead. Next to go might be Broken Blade as the turret's going to fall with it as well. Look at the Herald to charge. Everyone diving in from KC. G2 are left only with 3, and one of them is going to stay around mid. Turret's going to drop on down. More gold given to KC. Hans is like, don't worry, I'll make the macro play. But again, G2 are getting sloppy and getting caught out. It feels like every play that there's a fight.
Yeah, I feel like G2 is one of the best teams that we have in terms of macro, and they've been playing fast this game to try and get Caps around to solve the situation, get as many tower platings and towers as he can. But KC is faster because they're stronger. They don't necessarily need the numbers advantage to run them down. You saw Yahoo just literally walked down onto Broken Blade, dumps that Tibbers on his head, and just continuously chases him until the rest of KC shows up. So the gold lead right here gives a lot of confidence to KC to actually push these lanes and push their advantages in terms of skirmishes. Now, this is going to be the third dragon in about 55 seconds, and G2 are still looking for a very important second item on their Caitlyn. Will Hansama have that Infinite Edge before the dragon? Because it doesn't look like it.
No, I mean, I'd be more worried at this point if Kalist has it, because he's 625 gold away, and I'm pretty sure he might have it with this wave as well. So
they just zoned him off the cannon.
Kalist is 3,000 gold up, by the way. Like, dude, this guy is running the fights now. And Yike is just the one dunking down. Here's the TP in. He's going to call in the pack and try and go invulnerable. Now that that's down, we have to question, what can Broken Blade do? He teleported in into Kana, getting a Noxious Blast down, but Labrov just took a solid chunk. Caps running, but the flash, the ulti into Caps is a one-man petrifying gaze, while Tibbers gets dropped on down, only onto one man as well. Cease and desist. A messy fight from KC. They should be winning this in spades, but Yike has to back away. Different angles here as Yahoo was in the river. Decimating Smash in the meanwhile, by the way, is kind of flash ultied. The team fights a little bit risky business here as KC is still going to try and steal.
Yeah, they're going to re-TP their Sion into this fight. Here it comes. Yike is looking for the 50-50.
Oh, he hasn't gotten any kills this game. He flashes over the wall. Skuma won't follow instead. They look for Kalez, who gets flashed on by Broken Blade, has to burn his own. Now G2 are looking for the chase down. Skewmon and Yike are going to battle it out. Kana goes in. There's a flash. Cease and desist. No, but he has a Vault Breaker that will take over the wall. Yike is going to get on out while Dragon stacking is stopped. And G2 just clawed back like 2,500 gold.
I do not want to hear Broken Blade slander ever freaking again.
Okay.
Because his team fight coordination with Caps single-handedly saved that team fight. I don't know if we're gonna rewatch that replay, but that was absolutely flawless coordination between the mid-top duo of G2 as they have started the Baron right here. Yike is still around. That's not the smite.
Yeah, but Broken Blade's taking no damage as he zones off G2. Are they gonna flip this against Yike? He doesn't have ulti, and they know it. He doesn't have flash either. They know that too. Root down, Baron in the ground. There's a good stun from Yeo. He has an angle. Tibbers does good job as well. Labrov trying to get out of there. G2 looking to run out of dodge, but Miasma down. Casey can't even get the kill. Labrov uses shield. Tibbers is looking for a target, but he ain't going to reach. All in, I think a mistake as Broken Blade might be the first target for Petrifying Gaze. Helps claim Yike's life. Boost here from an angle. I don't know what Casey are doing, but from different angles in a front-to-back comp, you must be crazy. Boostia gets chased down by Broken Blade, and G2 have 5 Baron buffs. KC are throwing this lead in the goddamn wastebasket, man.
Because Kalist was not there. They're chasing a fight without the guy that has majority of the gold in his pocket. That is almost a 3-item Yunara. And they chase down G2. G2 is so damn tanky. The shields coming through from Karma. Let's rewatch that replay. It's not the replay that I want to rewatch, but let's watch that replay again. Because you see where Yunara is on your minimap right now. G2 is being chased, but they are very tanky. And look how they keep switching positions with who tanks what. Once Caps lets off, Broken Blade takes over. Then Skewmond walks up to threaten. The second Yike is too far in, then Skewmond ults him. Then Hansama walks up. Then Broken Blade is threatening through the bush. These team fights are absolutely flawless by G2.
What are the comms? Kalist went to mid-wave. Like, that Yike is diving and Kalist is pushing in mid-wave. I don't know what's going on.
They're looking for T-Burst.
Yeah, they set up. They do find Cavs. Decimating Smash. He's just dead. Nice pick. Finally bringing it all together, setting up Kana in. And now with the ulti, Hansama is also front-lining. G2 seem to be throwing it back here as they just enable KC to play the final front to back that we talked about earlier on. Yike has killed 3 or at least helped. And now that G2 are losing their Baron buff, the game is going to equalize again.
No, you win. No, you win. No, sir, sorry. You win. No, sorry, sir.
You can take it. You catch the ball.
Look at it. Did you miss LPL? Because it's back.
Look at this Rare Atom Ultra Prime all over again. I can't wait to talk about Harry.
Yeah.
Holy. Yeah. So,
all right, so KC wins here. They take 3 members down. However, there is no Baron, there is no Dragon, there's no major neutral objective for them to take. They're going to push that bot lane tower for themselves. However, they do stall the entirety of G2's Baron as Caps is sending it with a deep TP.
Okay, Omega Lila. If we're talking about LPL, it feels like it, doesn't it? Miasma down. Kana is isolated. The rest of the team coming in, but Kana dying quickly. Petrifying Gaze stops his TP. Tried to get out with a cheeky play, but that'll be negated. Remember, Baron's still up for 2 members of G2, but even in the last 10 seconds, it won't be doing much. They take down Kana, but it doesn't actually mean much unless they can convert it into Drake pressure.
Yeah, there's still a minute left. Kana up in about 30 seconds, so they did commit Caps' TP, so they wanted to get something out of it. You saw he committed also his ultimate to try and get down that Sion, which they did. A bit more gold in their pockets. Now this Cassiopeia is slowly heading that 3rd item. Caps with a 2,500 gold lead over Yahoo. And I feel like if you look all across the map, I think the game is just dead even. The 1.5k gold lead doesn't really translate into nothing. However, I will pinpoint your eyes somewhere. There is a Seeker's arm guard in Kalist's inventory. Casey knows how important the next fight is going to be, most likely over the Dragon. Not only does it solidify them soul point, but with the extra Seekers, it's more of a bait item. You don't really expect it to be onto that Yunara. So unless you've spotted it beforehand, it can actually bait you too deep.
Let's see.
Look how aggressive he's playing with it.
List, yeah. Busio as well. There's good poke damage. Skewmon sets up into Kana. Decimating Smash going to find him on the edge. All in is Yahoo, but it's a one-man Tibbers. Meanwhile, Broken Blade with an angle up against the wall. Decimating Smash going to find again. Broken Blade has to get out with a flash of his own, but note that Yahoo burned his flash. Busio burned a heal. I'm looking at summoners here because as G2 approach the Dragon, looking to start the stop, we might get a fight around this area, but instead KC are like, no, we have the inside track on mid. Let's get inner.
I feel like T-Burst is your primary setup for a fight. If that doesn't result in somebody getting too low or a kill, Caps knows better than to go in there. He's just going to throw his Q and back off. They see KC, but the TP's from Cassante, very, very tanky, into 5 members of KC.
Yeah, Broken Blade running in, but where's the damage, by the way? They need Kalist to start hitting him, and Broken Blade's near full HP. Skewmon with cease and desist available, looking for a target, but KC are going to run out together at the very least. Yak spotted out on an edge of a ward, but G2 going to look for the mid push. KC getting a little bit more gold for what it's worth.
And I love how aggressive G2 are playing. They know that they've been losing a lot of the fights that they've played carelessly, where they overextended. They keep doing that. They keep playing very aggressive. Also, very clever move from Kalista to spy the Seekers right here and just play a little bit more aggressive, play a bit on the front line. Seems like he's dashing forward. Try to bait G2 into going too deep to get a big win for KC. But again, if that T-burst does not result in a numbers advantage, it's really hard for KC to refine their way into a team fight.
Well, that's why the flash is so important. Yahoo, the cooldown is up for a little bit longer here.
That's not working,
continue to wait. He does. It's going to close the gap a little bit, but I remember again, the problem in this comp is so far, if it's a 5v5, Caps has shown Miasma the zone control. There's a lot in the way for KC to find the perfect angle, the perfect front to back themselves, right? So as Baron comes up in 15 seconds, let's see how they approach. G2 have River, they have topside really to themselves. Past this Riverline, Cap's going to step on up. Miasma's down.
Yike.
Look at Yike gets over the wall with an Eviscerate, but there's great poke damage from Caps. He is scaled. He's got a Leandra. He's got 3 items himself, and the level 16 Cassiopeia still has his Petrifying Gaze.
The scales have been tipping over on each team throughout this entire game. It's G2 playing aggressively, punished by KC. KC playing aggressively, punished by G2. But none of these teams have let go. They're literally playing on the edge this entire game. Now G2, cosplaying a Fnatic Bush right there. Broken Blade in the mid wave. He's going to get spotted by the Ward as well. That's been put down by KC. And KC are holding the right side of the map. G2 are holding the left. And they're fighting between that mid lane wave to try and get some pressure over in that mid lane, which then allows you a lot of access in this river. Look at G2. They're all bundled up in this bush.
Yike just went on a trap. He's going to Hound Pursuit, but he flashes over the wall. Luckily gets on out. I think Yike was dead meat there. That was an insanely good trap from Hansama, but Yike now no flash.
There was no vision also placed into that brush. Busio was too far away. G2 are going to take some backs now. Labrov refreshing his wards. This is the time for KC to take those resets from G2, walk in, set down some vision for themselves, feel safe for the time being. However, reminder, top right of your screens, 2 minutes for the next dragon. It's going to be soul point for either team. Very, very important. A soul here, like an infernal soul with so much damage coming through from both of these teams, could determine the whole game.
We'll see what items are picked up in that time as well. 4 items here with the Seekers unused by Kalist. Which you already pointed out. On the other side, Hansama looking to catch up with what looks to be a rapid fire cannon here. Excuse me, as Caps with a needlessly large, excuse me, as well. As he's going to get caked. Yeah, who's here? Grounded. Tippers comes down. He's got a bit of HP. The problem is, do they have enough damage? I don't think they do. He's got flash up and available. He's going to use his time to kill Tippers instead. Caps has a bit of HP. And Yahoo only has 2.5 items. Yeah.
Caps is just healing off the Krogs right there. He just got 2-man ganked. Absolutely no problem. It's the Tibbers. A lot of HP onto this Cassiopeia, plus the MR from the Mercs. The HP coming through from Road of Ages. You've got the extra shield coming through from Seraphs as well. So again, this champion, yes, it's a mid lane champion that can dish out a lot of damage over time, but very, very tanky. A majority of G2 is actually very tanky, especially with GA almost completed onto the Vi. It makes the targets for Yahoo that much less. Who do you actually Tibbers to try and commit into if you're KC? Talking about it, Guardian Angel completed for Skewmont.
Oh yeah, that's a big pickup here for the jungler. Broken Blade found out, but Pathmaker gets him out. If Kalist dies, I will say though, I feel like this fight could be cooked. I mean, I do think like Hansama, yeah, you could say that if he dies, maybe there's an impact, but Caps needs to be the one to go as front to back here for G2 going to be started off. KC
Yahoo TP.
using Kana in the way. Yike is looking for an angle. You said it. TP over as Caps gets Petrifying Gaze, but at half HP, there's an angle. Broken Blade ran into Cliff and he's dead. They didn't expect all the damage here from the French AD carry. All in for the House Pursuit. Yike is going to use it now, but Dark Light of Ruin gets to slow down G2 without their top laner, their front line. Ace in the hole going to be used on Yike on the way out as well. He gets low, but at least KC have 5 members.
You asked for Kalist to do damage. He absolutely destroyed Broken Blade, a 4-item Yunara. And this is going to also be soul point for KC that we're looking for a fight. Broken Blade overextends. Kalist instantly takes him down. Broken Blade is 3 levels up on Kalist and still stood no chance.
And he's got, heavy armor as well. Looks like he's building a Thornmail third. Makes sense when he is getting shredded at the time being. And I think more importantly, the fact that as G2 look for a hover here around mid. Oh no, yike. Miasma going to be down. Noxious Blast, but the range of there. Human comes in with a Vault Breaker. Cease and Desist won't be used though. Yike does get out, but G2, this ward and this brush is giving them a bit of life.
Skewmon is going to wrap around once again. Looking potentially for anyone from KC who's going to walk in. Gigi's going to bait with the Baron start, and Skewmon again is looking at the back of the pit.
The angle's so good. Cease and Desist used. Flash Miasma. Tibbers on Cap's head. Petrifying Gaze zones off the team. Tibbers doing good work, but again, Jungler is down. Cap's going to survive while the stun from Yahoo saves his life, or at least gives him space. Kalist also, he still has flash, but he's gone into ulti at half HP. Baron going to be started by G2.
absolutely flawless execution again. Skewmon finds the angle, but Yahoo does have the T-burst to scout forward. They have no smite, no chance to steal the Baron, and yet another very creative way from G2 to try and regain numbers advantage. Skewmon, hats off, honestly, he just circled back around, didn't give a chance to Yak to react. Instantly, Caps flashes over the wall, and again, even though they looked at Caps from KC, it's just too damn tanky.
I mean, Skewmond early game, I felt like he didn't do much. Skewmond has had a couple of good plays in the last couple of fights, and all of a sudden, I'm like, man, this guy's playing really well, and it does feel like
kind of good, huh?
He is, but I have to say, like KC, I don't know what's going to happen for the rest of this series, but we hold them to a high expectation because this is a top 2, top 3 team. You know, depends on how spring finishes. But this game was disgusting. Like, come on. This was so free. Yike was snowballing out of control. The bot lane got through the 2v2. All they had to do was group as 5 and just keep winning Drakes. I'm just putting hands up. I feel like it was so simple, no?
I'm going to play devil's advocate right here.
Please, someone
it can still change hands. It's changed hands multiple times. Kalist is on 5 completed items and a Seekers as Yike is looking for the flank.
Kana. Oh my God. Wait, the Caitlyn damage. You think Sion's tanky. Holy crap. Hansamu's got damage now as Tibbers drops to the floor. Turret goes as well, and gold is even as Baron is doing some work.
And look at mid lane. Skewmon has been slowly pushing that mid lane wave as well, which means KC are gonna have to respond. I think Yike is fancying a 1v1 with Skewmon, but Skewmon's out on this one, and G2. Skewmon baited 2 members of KC for that one, and that top lane tower is gonna fall.
And yeah, he's going to come on in. He doesn't have flash. Miasma just zones him. What can Annie do? He steps on a trap. He gets one shot. Yahoo! I don't think he's done that much this game, but I feel like this fight is a rendition of. Caps is going to use Petrifying Gaze. Kalist steps on up. He's got his ulti active, I believe, as he's looking to pivot into the fight. This is still not over. Yike is going to call the pursuit in action, but he's slowed down by LeBron. Vault Breaker out, and G2's Baron push stops right there with an inhibitor turret taken down.
All right, salvages a little bit the play on the Baron right here. However, Yike can still wrap around. Look at Skewmon and Caps. Again, getting very, very damn creative. Yike has nowhere to go but towards the bottom of the map, but he's going to also be very cautious. I mean, it has been G2 members all over his jungle inside any bush. So he doesn't want to take any chances right here. Did you overextend a little bit over the tops of the map? Still have their Baron for another 30 seconds to just push out those waves, because in about a minute's time, this is going to be soul for KC if they do manage to secure the last dragon that they need for that soul. And more items are starting to run in. We have now a completed hourglass for Kalist, but also a completed hourglass for Caps, who has been playing very aggressively, over pushing in this fight in the front line, and has no flash for that potential next fight.
I feel like if there's a good fight for KC, is, you know, the potential is still there, maybe towards this Dragon Soul for them. It relies on Kalist getting uptime, but it relies on Yahoo hitting a flash multi-man Tibbers. The only problem is I see a quarter of the cooldown left remaining, and I see that Dragon timer on 40 seconds. KC, I think, need to stall. I think they need to stall for Yahoo to get his flash up and then just pull the trigger for a play like this. They've got cut-off vision trouble, and I just want to see them use the Annie well. Even here without flash, surely this is the moment.
Yeah, but look at who's guarding. Broken Blade playing as close to that bush as possible. Yahoo wrapping around. Hansama too far forward.
Smash. Tibbers comes through. Hansama gets cleansed out immediately, and he just dies. I mean, maybe I was too high on the man. Kalist's going to go golden using that Zony's Outcross, but he's dead coming out. Petrifying Gaze gets the remnants of Kana, and KC just walk into the mid lane to end it quicker. It felt like Yahoo had a target, and they just didn't count the fact that Cleanse was up. TP in, and G2 are going to take a criminal game and a series to 2-0.
I mean, honestly, hats off again to Caps and Broken Blade. Their team fighting has been absolutely stellar, pulling G2 out of an early game deep deficit, and oh my God, we might get the repeat from Madrid.
Maybe we will. It's a 2-0 already. Match point for EWC. Qualifications for G2 as they put KC in the hole. That was disgusting, and G2 know it. G2 know it. They got. I don't know what they got away with, but only I think the chat can decide.
Hey, listen, they're all laughing on their cameras, okay? So I think they already know that they go away with murder right there.
Come on. Come on, man.
I'll give it to KC. I'll give it to KC.
Free.
You know,
Give what to KC?
all right, that last fight, I'll give it to KC. They had to go right there and then because there was an imminent GA coming through for Caitlyn. Therefore, Yahoo would have 0 targets for his Tibers. He was the only target remaining. That's why he was the only target hit. Cleanse, L. Okay, well.
No, not L for KZ. And my camera zoomed out.
Oh.
My camera back in.
I was like, what, L? Okay, well,
No.
well, here's how it happened. Very, very great early game aggression right here from Casey, using the T-Bears, using the extra bodies in the river, getting Yike to a very good head start. That gave him the 2-0, which then resulted in a 4-1 onto Yike. And this is where it starts going south. It's a little bit of a back and forth. Yahoo overextends, then the gold swings over to Caps.
I mean, Yike got this game started, but I think Yike in this series having a bit of a struggle. Like, even bot lane, they dove on repeat. Boosters Wild Growths were good for the knock-up. They set up their 2v2 for success, and Callis was mega fed. And I just don't know how. Like, I mean, again, I'm being harsh, particularly on KC here, but I do feel like this game, if it was G2 in reverse, they'd probably close this out in like 25 minutes.
Yeah, probably. I'm just looking to see if the team fight that I was alluding to from Broken Blade and Caps actually shows up, because I feel like this game has been an absolute freaking masterclass from the solo laners of G2. I felt like they were on a different level. BB using his body so amazingly to just cover any angle that KC could come from. It's not going to be the case. It was right before this one, but this was the one that they got baited into. And I feel like KC have been playing a little bit chaotically, right? I feel like there's not necessarily a plan. There's just we see champion, we engage champion, we're ahead in gold, which I do not mind. But then when later the game becomes much harder to play due to draft, due to items coming through right here, it just doesn't allow them many avenues to come back.
I don't know. What is it? Like, Yike, he dives in under turret, then he eviscerates in deeper. He's like, may as well. I mean, crazy man. Crazy, crazy man. And this was the last fight, of course, where Yahoo, he didn't have flash. He found Hans Summer, but problem with Annie is once those summoners are up or something like a bell, you commit in deep. If you don't burst the target that late in the game, then you kind of just do nothing. I don't know. Holy. Well, Callist. Hats out to Callist, I think. That guy carried. You tried. Well, you know what? I had trouble. I don't know where she's disappeared to. Still in here. I am alone. I'm just alone. And all I think about are those Labubu's in the back that are just staring me down. What do I do with that? I don't know. But it's in my head. It's in my head. I don't want to be harsh on KC, chat. I
guess you guys in your head, man. I've been here the whole time. Have you not been hearing me?
I've not been hearing you. What happened? I heard a beep and then you disappeared. You disappeared and... Yeah.
Sorry, he escaped. So I had to put him back.
My God, I know. Yeah.
Unlucky.
Be careful.
Happens.
The eyes change. The fact the eyes change scares me to death. That's
Look, now
crazy.
he's looking at you.
Yeah, he is. The eyes change, and there's something wrong with that. Look, shout out to G2. I mean, it's not the cleanest series. I think game 2 especially, but they get the job done. I will say, as we go to a break, if KC didn't pull their act together, it is an easy EWC qualification for G2. Will be the first of the LEC to join Gen G and to join Sentinels. Easy game, easy life. G2 will not have dropped a game in this road to qualifications if they win this next game. So we'll go to a break. When we return, game 3 coming up. Let's see.
Reach your impossible. Lenovo Legion.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back here with the EWC qualifier running into game number 3 between KC and G2. Last game, a little bit criminal. KC, a little bit lost, but this is where the reverse sweep starts, I guess. It's, by the way,
my God.
just reminded me. Yeah, LeBron, he filled it up, by the way. Holy.
I think he's working out with it as well, man. He's just starting to lift it.
Maybe a mental workout for this series. I mean, at the very least, the other one's done, by the way. MKOI, as you saw on the break screen, have beaten Na'Vi, so Na'Vi are now eliminated.
Yeah.
And MKOI will verse the loser of this in a best of 5 to qualify for the EWC themselves. And don't forget, the winner of LEC will also qualify, so we will have 3 teams going to EWC this year.
Ooh, 3 things. Rise, Shinzao, and Lucian. These 3 picks are what comes to mind right here, and KC are going to have a very tough choice to make right here with the last ban, because the 2 that stay open are most likely going to be traded. Trundle and seeing Yike not look very happy. I'm looking at Sejuani's.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Skarner's. I'm looking at champions that Yike does not want to play.
I wonder if we might get an Olaf in the rotation this time around as well. Let's find out, because, yeah, Trundle is a strange ban, but Rise is still up and available. It might be an Azir angle for Yahoo this game around, talking about the priority dropping last game, or at least in the draft before. But we have Rise here for Caps. It's easy. I mean, Caps is a good Rise. It's a solid first pick.
Also, Annie not in there, Anivia not in there. 2 of his biggest counters in lane just don't exist anymore. They have been played before. So
Wait, by the way, Nort is open, just to interject, and has been banned both games. So Nautilus could just be a free pick here.
Right. Something that Labrov really strives to pick if it is left open. However, I'm looking at Lucian, and I'm thinking if Kalist Busio want to play a little bit more of a kill lane down bot lane. I've looked at their lanes the other 2 games, and it has been kind of rough, right? Not having the priority lane, not being able to play aggressive, even though I feel like Kalist has been wanting to play aggressive both of these games, and you see him always push forward and try to get the team fight started. He just doesn't necessarily have the tools, right? Especially with the Yunara. But I feel like Lucian can sort of be that fire starter in team fight.
Yeah.
Oh, here it comes. Oh, I knew that. I just knew it. Oh my God.
Okay. So, options into Skarner is the only question I have left. For Skumond, Pantheon's gone, Vi's gone, Jarvan's gone.
He can play Shinzao if he wants to.
Xin Zhao is open, yeah.
I mean, Mundo is also an option if he wants to go for that and just sort of match fire with fire, tank with tank over in the jungle. But you basically really need a tank killer. So the Dragon coming through right here for Hansama. You pretty much solidify that you have enough firepower between the Rise and your AD carry to try and take down the Skarner later on.
Well, Smolder gets locked in, which we've already seen in the Na'Vi series from Hansama, so he's going to do it again. DFT is really just the way to go, and has been for this entire patch. And it could be Hubris, could be Essence Reaver, but there's an Nautilus we talked about, so I do feel like getting Rise here on the first rotation for G2 feels like a really nice game 3 to start.
Yeah, I feel like with Skarner around, I don't necessarily expect to see a Hubris coming through. I think it's most likely going to be an Essence Reaver game, making sure you get all that crit and then scale into that late game. Now, G2 have chosen to break the draft, and this is literally the name that Dylan Falco gave to me back in when he was in Schalke, back in 2022, if I'm not wrong, when we spoke to each other. He says that when you do not mirror what your opponent picks, you are initially breaking the draft. So let's see if KC can actually respond to what Dylan has done, which goes against what he believed back then, because he's the one that broke the draft initially by locking in his bot lane, whilst KC have locked in their top side of the map. Now, I'm expecting to see something like a Vayne ban come through for that top side of the map. I feel like Vayne is one of those ranged champions that does do well into other ranged champions. And since kind of has locked in that Jace, it could potentially be also a threat.
So, Kalista being taken away. Yorick as well. I do love that they're getting options for Kana to feel safe up in that top lane. I mean, if I'm thinking about Jace options, I don't really care about the Gnar. I'm like, if they pick Gnar into me, I'm probably cheering. But anything that can kind of match the range. Now, if it was the Shy, I'd be talking about things like, yo, is he going to run the Quinn into it? And you can look for the Yasuo takeaway.
Or the Bibi special. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. 80 carries from the side of G2. Lucian is the only prominent one that I have my mind into. Can be played with Braum down bot lane. It's one of his initial really good matchups. And Braum is also fantastic into things like Nautilus and other melee supports down that bot lane. Xayah is going to be taken away from G2. And now I just wonder, do you actually go with Lucian right here, play for Rapid Fire Cannon, and have Braum neutralize that bot lane?
Does he play mages though? I watched the T1 series earlier where game 3 we had Mel Camille bottom lane and it ran like it was domination.
Oh, Rel.
If Rel gets locked in, maybe it's going to be something.
Oh my God. I kind of think, I think I know what Kalista is going for. But for now, Dylan, I think we have to go Vayne here. Jace top lane, Vayne, really good matchup. You get so much more damage to take down the Skarner. Dylan, it's time. It's time. Lock in that Mundo for Skewmont. You've locked in your front line. And we have to go Vayne.
Okay. Oh, even better. Oh my God. No. Okay, this is... I mean, I did say there could be an Olaf coming with Trundle ban. Now, top, is it going to be Vayne versus Jace? Vayne that is consistently banned in the second rotation of bans. Would it go hard? Ooh. Oh my God, this goes harder. Oh my God, this goes so much harder.
I think Kalist's idea right here is let's see jungle top and lock in Draven and play super aggro onto the Smolder. Kalist is a Draven player as well, so I feel like that made absolute sense. But with Malphite being so good into immobile lady carries and Nolaf running through all the CC to get into the backline, I feel like Draven would be a huge liability in terms of surviving those team fights.
Oh my God, Tristana instead. All right. So you do get a bit of range here. I feel like KC, like what are we building a front to back in? They've got solid engage, but G2's ability to snap and just launch like Olaf, Malphite, Nautilus, they would just send it. I love it. I love these drives. It's a great way for game 3.
I just feel like G2, again, they're being so ultra creative. Skewmont on the Olaf doesn't care about any CC that's thrown at him from the side of KC. He can just walk straight into the backline. Buckshot doesn't work onto the Olaf from Tristana. So once you've jumped, you might be under a lot of stress because usually the jump is used on the Nautilus ult to create more distance. So we'll see if KC can actually keep some of their carries alive. They have 3 this time around, top, mid, and AD carry. No carry through the jungle. Yike has been... Wait.
Right. Hang on. That was
Skarner
Jace jungle. That's not Skarner top, is it?
Wait.
Is that Skarner top? Hang on. Did we
Jace
just
has
not
been buffed.
swap into...
Jace has been buffed in the jungle again. So
Are we...
What?
Okay. We're back to Jace jungle. Buff's enough.
Is that real?
Hang on a minute. I mean...
Okay, even if it is, why is Skarner top lane?
When did Jace get buffed for jungle again? Because we literally got rid of him in jungle. At least in LEC we did, you know?
I've heard from ERL scrims, not going to say who and why, that Jace is kind of back in action.
Secrets. Okay. Let's get into Summoner's Rift. Let's see who qualifies for EWC as a G2.
It's Skarner top. Oh my God.
It is Skarner top. Karna's going Grasp. Malphite Grasp. It is the boys again. It's literally Rock v Rock as Undertow connects onto Yike. And Yike already gets cleaved out. Now, Karna's here. Skarner level 1. What can he do? Is he going to drive Skewmont into a rock himself as Caps is going to help on out? There we go. There's the drive into Broken
Rock
Blade.
into a rock.
Yeah. I mean, Broken Blade's fine. He's got D shield, and so does Karna, to be fair. Grass going to be picked up. W start here, so he just claps his cheeks a little bit, and Karna's just going to get autoed down. I think Karna needs to drive Broken Blade another time. He's going to go to lane instead. Yike also gets low, but he'll heal up on the camp.
What's going on?
Boostio's auto-attacking. Kalist must have all-in, and he did use Barrier as Han Summer did the same. So 1 summoner for each bottom laner.
Yep. Only flashes available for bot lane for the time being. Look at Skewmont. Look on your minimap right now. Olaf knows that Jace is low HP. And Olaf loves those observers. Thank you so much.
Undertow connects flash as well. Presses Ian's first blood. Skewmont gets it. And Yike is in the dirt, man. He's going to get blue buff as well. You got to love the timing. Skewmont on the full aggro.
He just laughed, man. He just somehow knew. This is an absolute horror for Jace for the time being, because yes, he does avoid playing into the Malphite, because Malphite is a neutralizer for any AD auto-attacker up the top side of the map. However, you'll still be able to sort of farm on that top side of the map, right? Now in the jungle, you're running into the Olaf, depending on what the priority looks like on the other lanes. Luckily for KC, Tristana is one of those champions that never lets go of priority. Due to her passive, she perma pushes that wave. And let's watch this one more time. Skimo goes back into his jungle, gets that level 2, knows that Yike is going to be low, because he left him low from the previous 1v1, and then comes back to collect everything.
It is crazy how in this series, I think a fair statement is to say that Yike is getting capped. And I think game 1 especially, last game was kind of given away to Skimon, but the mid game, Skimon kind of turned on with the Vi. This early game is insane lead here for the Olaf. He's going to get invaded, but Jace has to kind of swing by, get some pressure and move away. He's looking for an angle in bot instead, as you can see on your minimap. Yike is moving down, drops a deep ward, but as he comes back to the brush, look who's waiting. Observer sees him go past. They're actually shifting the knife. They're looking at top instead, because maybe it's going to be a 1v1. Broken Blade is just auto-attacking. Kana gets him into a wall. Hits him a couple more times. In the river. Seismic Shard. Here comes Grasp of the Undying. Presses E, and Broken Blade claps him. Solo kill. Skimon sets in the undertow. Yike about to die. He flashes away. Next undertow would be a kill as the Prob looks for the next stretch line. Meanwhile, the route down. Yehu Blast Cone not in his favor. It's another kill down, and Skimon gets the heal off it as well. Oh my god, it's 5-0. Solo kill top lane. Everyone dies towards bot. This is a G2 massacre, and KC are at the end of the blade.
Yeah, to quote one of the best TFT players who just qualified for World Championship, K3 Soju, it's a G for G2 right here. There were 8 people in that bot side river, all for that Scuttle Crab. Skimon grabs the axe again, knows that Yike has no flash. Yike is too far forward. Then Hansama shows up, jumps the wall, kills Yike. Then the blast gone from Yahoo throws him back into enemy territory, and it's just kills for G2 all across the board. A 2-0-2 Olaf that looks so scary, because I'm looking at that Jace, that Tristana, and those are some sitting duck champions.
He's 2-0-2 with a 1k gold lead. Oh, that Olaf.
4 minutes. That's 4 minutes.
That's pretty disgusting. I'm just going to find a wall. Broken Blade got the solo kill before. We started that play with Kana getting solo killed by the Rock. So it's funny. I mean, I've seen, Dwayne The Rock Johnson in Scorpion King, bro, and he wins at the end of that movie. Spoiler alert, he does win.
Bro, you're old. You're old.
I'm pretty sure. Actually, I can't remember that movie. I'm pretty sure he is the Scorpion King.
Yeah, nice try. Nice save. Nice save.
I'm going to have to Google it. Hang on. I haven't seen it. You know what? After this, I'm going to watch the Scorpion King, because we have time. If this ends in this series,
the whole evening.
It's 7 o'clock in Berlin.
Bro,
it's
they're
mega
paying us
early.
for 2 hours? What is happening?
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, Undertow doesn't connect. Okay. Yike is like, yay. Kallista's coming in to help, but Skewmont also has Leprov, so designated engage from both supports. Yep. Skewmont sending for the Undertow. Busio trying to bait it in. Yike is over the wall. There's Caps as well. Flash, Rune Prison. No. I don't know. Yike should have maybe just run out, but he's dead again. 0-3 on this Jace jungle. And I got to say, this guy right now is getting bodied.
Yeah, I feel like this series, G2's going to complain about it having to be an email instead of played at this point. G2 continuing the domination over KC from a 2-0 in Madrid at the LEC regular split over an almost what looks like a 3-0, 5-0 consecutive official games that G2 has won over KC. Which makes next week's playoffs game, that best of 5, that much more interesting. Can KC come back and take some games off of G2 as Caps?
Okay, yeah, Caps might be dead here. Realm Warp out. He's almost in. Yaki's going to claim the kill. So, does reset his gold value, but gets a little bit back while Dragon goes down in the bottom lane.
All right, some return kills right here for Yike. He's looking for enemy territory. The blue buff is going to be spawning soon for Skewmont, but it is absolutely not safe. With Broken Blade roaming towards that river and also having Rise back on the map. Skewmont heading topside. There's absolutely no room for invading. Plus, his entire topside jungle is spawning. So, Yike on this champion, all he has to do is pretty much farm, try to get to that 1 to 2 item breakpoint. start walking towards those lanes, throwing in his shock blasts, which is what Jace was really annoying for earlier in the season when he was meta. And he still does that as Skewmon is going to claim yet another Skull Crop on the top side.
Shattering Strike, crush down, not bad. Exhaust comes down. Maybe Lebrov in trouble, but Hansummer hasn't been hit. They used everything on Lebrov, but now sneezing in with Mum, Hansummer gets a double kill. Casey's 2v2 said, you know what, we're going to exhaust the Nautilus.
And I was looking at the invade that was being pinged on the tops of the map, because Skewmon versus Yike is always a very interesting topic, right? Both G2 junglers, who is better? Yike got replaced by Skewmon. Is Skewmon actually better than him? Well, in this series and the series before that, it seems like he is. But also now bot lane has lost all hope. I felt like in that draft, I feel like at least was thinking about the Draven. He's a Draven player, and it's really good. Into Smolder, takes control of the lane. But G2's last 2 picks shut that Draven pick down. And now Tristana doesn't really seem to be the case here. 3-0 already on Smolder, even in CS, a 600 gold lead, and it's all going south for Casey.
And look, to the credit of G2, like, the Skewmon invade has shut down anything in the game. Like, Yike just hasn't been able to farm his jungle. Consistently, they've been trying to fight, but Skewmon has obviously been the successor of that bot lane fight. And even top lane's not going well for Skarner on the top Scorpion King. Like, this is a really, really rough entry to the game through every single lane. And so now we have to question, like, can Yike get this red buff? It'd be a big win for him, but no. No, he's not going to face Skewmon. He's got Stride Breaker at 8.5 minutes.
Well, this Olaf is playing against 3 ranged champions, so Strikebreaker is absolutely brutal to try and stick onto those champions. So great first item right there from Skewmon, and it's just really rough, man. Yike is trying to clear his own jungle, then he's trying to find angles and timings that Skewmon is resetting to try and gain anything off of the opposite side. Now he has to shadow Yahoo together with Busio so that Azir pushes that lane and then does his own Raptors onto the Jace. And I feel like I want to have a conversation with you right here, because correct me if I'm wrong, I have not seen Skarner top lane. I don't know if it's been played in the LPL, if it's been played in the LCK, or what the case is. And I do understand the Jace being pivoted into the jungle, because Jace is actually pretty good in the jungle right now. But I feel like Skarner being put top lane, I don't see how that works here.
No, well, I mean, I can't remember the last time I saw it. It feels like, yeah, it feels like an LPL thing of a couple of years ago. We did have a meta where Skarner top was vibing, but yeah, it feels like a while ago. As by the way, Hansummer did ulti down bot. It was an attempt from Kalist, and that's all you can really do. Skewmon hovered, so Yike is going to get some reprieve up in the top lane and get the grubs. So for what it's worth, I mean, as KC right now, you're like, that's a massive win.
He's not going to get the grubs. He's absolutely not getting the grubs. He gets 1 and takes the Skull Crop just in case maybe he can snipe the second one, but he needs to go over to his bot side of the map that is spawning. So quick reset, grab item, go bot side, which means G2 can get all neutral objectives in the map, but not before they absolutely strip naked Yike's jungle.
Oh, sheesh. And Skewmon will be the first to take blue. Yike is getting on the edge of wolves.
Look at Labrov. He's just looking for him.
I mean, look, Skewmon, I don't know if you want to take this. Yeah, he pulls out the ulti. That's a win. Actually, to be fair, Skewmon pressed that ulti very early on. Kalist gets super Scorcher Breath, but Skewmon with no ulti is a big of a win, as you say, 30 seconds before Drake. That's
if KC can walk into this river. You see Ryze backing up now. He's going to come back with both of his summoners up and available. Essence River already completed for that Smolder. Rod of Ages already completed for the Ryze. I do not think KC have the equipment to walk inside this river. Hex Optics completed for Tristana right here. Maybe if they somehow manage to push out that wave really quickly with the Tristana, do their passive and get inside this river, I can maybe see it, but no item on Azir. They might be looking here as Jace is also on the bottom of the map, but I feel like G2 have the better vision and items for this fight.
You can't walk in. Umbral Glaive now completed, but I don't think it does anything yet. A ward's going to spot out the dragon started as the Brov goes over with it as well. A 3 versus 3. G2 win this every day of the week. As Hansummer helps push this down. Teleport going to be burned. Busio flashed with the Magnet Storm, but now with the Realm Warp coming in, Yike goes in. Dragon still taken, and Yike is just a sitting duck. Down he goes, Broken Blade. I've been waiting for it all game. Seismic Shard out. Waiting. He's going to clap when? When's Broken Blade going to press it? He pressed it on the Azir and he gets buster shotted out. G2 already got a double. Lebrov's going to die to the turret, but there's another. Yahoo in the ground on his fabled Azir. Lebrov was the only victim at the end of the play. It was an underwhelming Malphite, but it was still enough to kill the Azir.
1.4k gold up. 404. 20-something CS up. And add insult to injury. The guy who's rumored to not be able to get outsmited ever. Skewmont has outsmited every single damn time. Yike jumps into the pit, tries to steal the dragon. Skewmont takes him down. Booster too far, goes down as well. All the ults are used onto the Malphite. And then a last second Buster shot together with the Malphite ult. Freeze Broken Blade. Only Lebrov goes down to the hands of Yahoo. But it's G2 all over the board. And Yike, I don't think he's ever had access to his own jungle this game.
No, I think he gets like the
It's a
scrap
horror.
of camps. Yeah. This wolf camp, it feels like the last thing he's been able to pick up as well. Skewmon now topside for the Herald. Sorry, the rest of the grubs because it's still so early in the game. Kalista, Kalista's going to rocket out. There's no ulti from Broken Blade. I think that's the only reason Kalista's alive.
That's a 5-man bot to try and kill the Malphite.
Okay.
Yahoo was moving too, but it's only going to be a 4-man. Lebrov has sniffed that something bad is going on. It's going to pop the ward, and Broken Blade is just going to walk off the tower.
Now you do have one grub, but Skewmon as he comes down. Oh, the dredge line. It's beautiful. Kalista's going to barrier. He's alive for now. Depth charge wasn't used. Casey on the escape. Skewmon finds Boostio. The chase down begins. Undertow not going to follow by another. And G2 just hold control. 1 minute 30 till the Herald, by the way, as Kalista's lucky to be alive, but Broken Blade does have flash and ulti. And so if he's found out, that is the next thing to be found is, okay, Boostio's going to get ultied on. It's Ragnarok here for the Olaf. Skewmon gets one. Yahoo slowed down for the other. He gets away with the shifting sands, but it just keeps getting worse. There's no reprieve here for KC.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Caps with his best bounce performance, playing between tier 1 and tier 2, pushing up the waves, getting those target platings, getting pretty fat on the rise in his own way. There's just no allowance for breath for KC right here. They're hitting every side of the map. They're hitting both sides of the jungle, both towers on both side lanes, whilst mid lane is pushed. Hold up, Lebrov.
Fam. Okay, maybe an opportunity. Aftershock saving him. Death charge now used. Lebrov dead. So you know what? There's always a chance.
All gold going to Yahoo, onto this Azir, and it is one of the champions that he's the most proficient on. He has been picked very early in a lot of the KC drafts because Yahoo is so comfortable onto that champion. So getting both of those skills is very important. And let's see, Nashor's Tooth already completed. He's going to complete his Sork Boots as well. Looking for that second item, and I feel like all hopes and dreams onto Yahoo right here on this Azir. And if it's going to be enough, I mean, I don't think any of those champions really cares too much about Azir as Caps. He's walking up.
Hex Flash. Okay, Boostio has a free Magnet Storm and a Shattering Strike. The jump there, Caps runs into the wall, gets ulted himself. Boostio close to dying. Shock Blast out of range. Caps is fine, and here comes the G2 onslaught with a Realm Warp. Boostio is going to be the first to die, and Skewmon just ults straight away. Kalista has nowhere to go. A rocket jump not even available. A double over to Skewmon. 7-0-4, and just when you think you have Caps in the corner.
Yeah, it's just not even close, man. G2 insanely good at being aware around the map. Caps gets out of a 3-man gank, and Yahoo, with all the gold that we mentioned, is looking for a bot lane dive, but it's not going to come into fruition as kind of misses the ult onto Broken Blade, who just walked it off, man.
I mean, Broken Blade, he flashed at least. He had to ult before, I think. You know,
he just flashed it off. There you go.
Yeah, that's... I think Broken Blade right now being the target is, all things considered, fine for KC because they have no other target. But as Herald goes down, like Han Summer at 157 of the Dragon stacks, it's nothing super fast, but it's enough to just say, well, let's just watch this space because in the next 5 minutes, or at least in 6, there's another threat. There's another threat for G2 and the scaling rise. So you think the Olaf's the problem?
Just let him be. Just let him be, man.
No. Well.
Yak's been haunted. He's just looking over his shoulder with every camp. If Skewmon's not in there, Lebrov is in there, setting down the vision, as you mentioned. Dragon's coming up. Soul point for G2. Meanwhile, at the same time, Rift Herald's gonna go down. Caps is farming yet another tower with all the turret platings. TP going top from Yahoo from literally point A to point B. And they're looking for Broken Blade.
Minion Wave is thinning out though. Broken Blade tanking up. He's got the Frozen Heart, the ulti used. He buffers it midway. Broken Blade, genius on the play, but yeah, who has the ulti as well. This is what they can get. A shutdown, but Dragon goes down. Bot turret goes down. Mid turret goes down. Inner turret is now threatened. Dredge line in gets buffered weirdly by Spectator. Caps is looking for more on the turret plating. Like, you know what that play cost KC? Quite a lot of money. Is now, oh my god, yeah, who gets stride breaking, flashed over. Skewmon doesn't burn his own flash.
He thought about it.
He did think about it.
He stumbled there for a second. He's like, wait, did he flash up the wall or down the wall? Maybe it's a good idea not to take this one because next fight, this Azir is not going to have a flash to make a big play, right? Again, a lot of the gold is lying into Yahoo's pockets. So having flash on this Azir, maybe you could make one of those big faker-like plays with the Azir to try and turn the game around. But with no flash, you're not going to be having that chance. You're going to be a lot more predictable. And with flashes up all across G2, it's going to be easier to dodge this time around. So really good holding onto the trigger from Skewmon, not using his own flash, but this is mid lane tower going down, bot lane tower going down, a couple of tower platings missing from mid and bot tier 2 from KC. So even though they did commit up top lane to try and get a kill, at the end of the day, G2 got even more.
It's a dire position for KC. A quick reminder, they do have another chance here. If they lose this series, remember that tomorrow they will be versing MKoi, who just beat Na'Vi in a 2-0. So another opportunity for KC. And, you know, like we've been talking about this during LEC Spring. This team is fallible. Like they were undefeated, but then we went to the Madrid Roadshow. And I feel like MKoi stepped up. KC were kind of like some of the remnants of some of the mistakes that we saw at Every, but they're still a top 3 team easily. And so right now, the question is going to be like, can they recover for tomorrow? Or are MKoi going to build off the momentum they had today? And it's anyone's game as Skewmon gets tagged out. Dredge line there. And G2 are just looking for that mid push. Now knowing KC are here. A wall going to be hovered. Kana doesn't get Labrov. Impale. Oh my god. Everything missed. Dredge line also missed, to give credit. Labrov isn't going to find a way in as Hansama just flaps his wings solo top lane. But Yahoo is getting something in the bot lane until Rockman rocks up. Ulti on the wave. Finds everything on Yahoo. He shoves him, but I think Yahoo knows it's only a matter of time till he dies. So kill goes over to Broken Blade. And just like that, it's still a G2 trade.
I feel like this is the most worth thing you can do. Just give the kill over to that Malphite as Rizal comes in. Caps looking for Yike.
With depth charge as well. Yike is going to flash over. Caps matches at Rune Prison there and just isolates him, takes him down. Hansama's going to get the push here. Yike's dead again. And yeah, a slow burn, ladies and gentlemen. You came here looking for cinema, but you're getting something else.
I mean, it is pretty cinema, right? A lot of the G2 fans and the European fans are looking at G2. They're looking at what they did in our first international of the year, and they're looking for dominance. A lot of the times we're memeing about G2 and the start of their season, and we're like, wow, you did so good, like in playoffs, or this time around in playoffs and internationals, and you're coming into the split and you're like, you're looking so and so again at the beginning of it, right? So I feel like G2 looking this dominant, no matter the tournament, no matter whether it's playoffs or not, he's just giving a lot more hope to Europe, and he also, I feel like, reignites that KC G2 best of 5 we're going to be watching in playoffs just next week.
I am worried though it might be like this, because if it is, we're definitely sorting out round 1 nice and quick as Labrov doesn't get caught out. Yahoo getting some damage down. He's one who's absorbed the most gold in this game, but this is there. He's not going to have any chance of being able to play out the fight. Think about the Malphite, Olaf, the Nautilus. How can you play as Azir when there's a bit too many unstoppables in your way? Boosio face checking here. Broken Blade going to be found out against the wall. He is there. Kana. No, he gets rooted up. He's almost dying. Broken Blade saving his target. He hasn't pressed the button yet. Labrov flashes back to Dredge line back in. Tidal Wave. Broken Blade ultis on his death door. Yahoo gets his tempo up, but even though he looks for the chase, he dies midway. The Smolder with a double. It's Hansama who's 5 off the patience. Says, nope, Kana, you're not going anywhere. Hansama gets a triple kill, and KC are about to be 10k gold leaded at 21 minutes.
It's an absolute wallet diff for G2. That was a very scrappy fight. Caps gets caught in Kana's ult, so generally you would expect maybe a kill to go down as Caps uses the...
Got him.
yeah, he uses the horizontal elevator to go from point A to point B to grab the ace for KC as Hansama takes care of that bot lane tower. Meanwhile, Broken Blade and the Baron buff take care of that mid lane tower. Resets are gonna come through. Meanwhile, Skewmond is taking the dragon. Nothing skipped right here from G2. Complete textbook.
I'm starting to think maybe this series could have been done in carrier pigeon. Like this is definitely a quick one. Ladies and gentlemen, we started at 5 p.m. It is now 20 past 7. And there is a chance that this is done by 7:30. Yeah, 2.5 hour best of 5.
I don't think this game is going to be lasting 13 more minutes. But you see how split apart they are. Skewmond takes a chunk of damage from Kalist. Then they catch him, but he jumps over. But here is, right, Broken Blade dies first. Caps is in the middle of 3 people, and he's just tanking all 3 of them. It's just complete wallet diff, because G2 was so split that I feel like if that was an even fight, KC could clear them.
True. Again, it's like last game. It looked like one of the best fights we've seen, and it still wasn't enough. The only difference was that this fight was a lot further behind, set up there from Booster. Look at it, Magnustorm Impale. Oh, it looks beautiful. And they even get the Emperor's Divide as well. You say that, but the problem is that Malphite just got a 3-man ulti, and Smolder runs it in as well. Hansama, here we go. He's going to clear it up. That was the best fight they could get, and it still was way too cooked.
Damn, that was again best case scenario for KC. Huge ult coming through from Kana, and just it resulted in nothing. Wallet diff, man. G2 earned this gold lead.
Trouble, it's a 23-minute win. It's over. Damn. G2 are going to 3-0 to lock in EWC, the first team to lock in EWC from Europe. And surprisingly to no one, it is G2 who dismantle KC and remind Europe who their daddy is.
What a huge showing from G2. The cheers coming through from Skewmond as he absolutely astro-gapped this series. I feel like he had a hiccup early game with the Vi, but he came around so fast and so decisively. Yep. His Vi ults were impeccable, his Qs were impeccable, and I feel like, again, that is a 5-0 over KC, which series is going to continue next week to see the dominance of G2 over KC, but so far, they just look like the strongest team in Europe, undeniably.
I'm really worried for KC in the best of 5 coming up next week, because it feels like the start of the split was a really nice ramp, and then the past couple of weeks, I would say, I mean, especially this series, the gap is huge. But G2 today, I mean, it wasn't even necessarily always Skewmond. Like Broken Blade had another decent day, I feel, outside of some missteps. Sante, Hansama and Labrov, even though Labrov can be a little bit messy, like he can be messy in the best ways. And that bottom lane, even though it got cleaned in the Caitlyn Lulu game, they're still like great playmakers. Yeah, that they did. And Caps is just so consistent. So there's nothing but glaze for G2, I think. And rightly so, our first team locked in. Locked in for EWC.
It was a very clean series overall for G2. I feel like we could sit here and just glaze every single member, but collectively they all played very well. I also really would love to glaze Dylan Falco coaching staff. The drafts look incredible. I mean, the second one wasn't necessarily the easiest to play, but it still makes sense if you look at it overall. And I feel like the creativity that they have showed, the new champions going into those best of 5s, I feel like a lot of teams are going to have to pay very, very close attention, because it feels like G2's ocean pool right there of champions is just getting wider and wider.
I mean, I agree. Yo, Skewmond apparently standing by. I've been told that we are getting him on the line. Yo!
Hey!
I mean, I would say congrats, but dude, today was a stomp, bro. Like, this was kind of easy for you, no?
I mean, like, honestly, like, the game 2 was really hard, but I'm happy that we just made it in the end, you know, like, we had some good resilience, so I'm happy, yeah, with what we've shown. But yeah, I mean, the other 2 games were like pretty good from us, and yeah, I mean, I'm really happy with the win today. Yeah.
Skewmond, you jumped off your chair and you cheered instantly as this game ended. Tell me how much it means to you, right? Because a lot of people doubted you at the start. You beat Gen.G, you beat both Korean teams 6-0. You come into the split, everyone was like, oh, classic G2 in regular season. But now you're picking up again, and you're just 3-0 in a 2-0 in teams that could be your contenders for the title.
Yeah, I mean, definitely means a lot for me, but also like for the whole team, right? Like qualifying for another international tournament will be like really valuable for us. So, and we'll like, I'm pretty sure that we'll get like a lot of experience and good lessons from this upcoming tournament. But I mean, yeah, besides that, like, it's a bit funny that we'll have to play against them next week too, in LEC. So I'm looking forward to see like how we'll be able to like, I mean, how they will bounce back in the first place, but also us, like how we will refine our strategies, since I think like there's a patch switching since then. But yeah, I mean, besides that, obviously, like really happy with the win. And I'm looking forward to see what you can do in the LEC players.
And quickly run me through the Olaf thought process, right? Because Skarner gets locked in. First of all, did you know it was top? And second of all, the Olaf matchup, like, I mean, was it open because Trundle was banned? And you're like, well, you know, you knew that Jace was going jungle. What was your thought process to running this for game 3?
I mean, no, honestly, like we didn't know that it was top until like the very last seconds of the draft. Like we just saw them like basically just of their champion, right? So, and then we just had to adapt, like change the runes and stuff for like, for example, for BB in that case. But no, I mean, I just think that this is a good matchup against Skarner, right? Individually as a 1v1. And I just think it made sense with like the type of comp we are building. So I can like make space and room for Smolder to actually scale since I'm like pretty strong early game. So yeah, that was basically it.
I love how Hysterics mentioned you pretty much clearing the jungle right there. Skimon, I have 2 questions for you. One is that unavoidably people are going to compare you to Yike, right? This is literally the guy that you replaced and playing one of the best teams in Europe. The comparison is always going to be made. One, how does it feel to actually show up in the matchup versus Yike? And 2, how well does it feel to damn outsmite this guy every single time he jumps in your pit?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, it feels good, right, to like perform against him. I think it's definitely he was like the best jungler for like 2 years straight, I think, and he's like the most consistent one for sure. Always there at the top. He even won like without caps, you know, which is like a big topic usually when you play in G2. He showed that he's able to like even win without G2 basically, and I just think that he's very strong. So obviously like showing up and playing good against him definitely means a lot. But yeah, we have another series coming next week, so I'm hyped to see how this one will look like. And yeah, I mean, for the smites, I mean, honestly, like, I just feel like it's like kind of luck, in my opinion. So, I mean, today it was more on my side, so obviously, like, that was good. But yeah, let's see in the future who will get those 50-50s.
And final question for you before I let you go back to your team and chill out for the night. Where are you guys playing for? Are you in a hotel? Like, where are you? Obviously, don't give me the location, but like, you got these curtains set up, this super casual environment.
Yeah. No, I mean, we are just playing from our... Yeah, I mean, no, we are just playing from our office, right? Very cool office brought by G2 Esports. Very comfortable. It's like also...
Hashtag ad.
Hashtag ad. Romain is happy. But also like it recreates like basically the LEC stage, since we have to like actually take one step up so we can actually feel like we are playing on stage. So yeah, that's basically it.
All right, I mean, that's sound logic. Skewmon, thank you very much. I appreciate you, man. I'll let you go. Congratulations again on locking in EWC, and yeah, we'll see you soon. We'll see you for LEC.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thanks, man. Bye. That was Skewmon there. Big shout out. I mean, I think he had a great day. I don't know if we're giving MVPs, but I mean, I mean, it's a hard day to give.
Capsman played so damn well.
Yeah, he did, but he always does. He always does. As we bring out the bracket for you to have a quick look, like Skewmon, big shout out. This guy has come into G2 and he's developed, and yeah, he's really taken Yike's mantle off of him. Today was another step towards that, as well as this is how the bracket's been played out. G2 are our first team for the LEC for EMEA, the EMEA region rather, to qualify, and now it's up to KC and MCOI, which will be played tomorrow.
Damn, okay. Ebai versus Kameto once again in a best of 5 before it happens in the LEC. Hell yeah. This is going to be played tomorrow at 5 p.m. CST. And really quickly before we go, I just wanted to point out something that Skewmon touched upon, because I feel like it's very, very important. And me being in very close connection with the Vitality boys, I know that they have spoken about this as well. And they mentioned how playing online and playing sort of in an environment where usually scream and do other stuff around there, it doesn't necessarily feel as official to you, right? So big W to G2 for creating a space specifically for that one, like Skewmon said, so that they can feel like it's just a different environment, that they're playing for something specific in that regard. So yeah, big W. That was very cool.
Yeah, and very smart. I mean, I think this has been an interesting run towards this qualifier, but hey, for G2, they've got the right mindset. Obviously, the gameplay's back, and even though Game 2 wasn't clean, I think overall they can take something big away from that. Ladies and gentlemen, quick reminder as we go and as we disappear for today. It's been a quick day, by the way. It's 7:30 now. We will be back again tomorrow to watch Koi versus MKoi play it out. So make sure you tune in. Trouble, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to our production team
KC
as well.
versus MKoi, not Koi versus MKoi.
Okay, is that what I said? Yeah. They're going to verse themselves. No, Casey versus MKoi for correction. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me, and bye for now, but not forever. Trouble, see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye. Get rid of the Labubus. No more Labubus. We get rid of those. We get rid of those. Bye. No more boobers.
ドキドキしようよ準備